This is a Headgum podcast.
Hey, buddy, it's the Doughboys. Mitch, we're going to be at SF Sketchfest, the San Francisco Comedy Festival, at the Palace of Fine Arts Theater on Saturday, January 25th. Wow.
Wow, Wags, the big city. Get ready to shake with the Doughboys.
That's right. Get it ready to shake with the Doughboys.
Here, maybe the cameras can, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think we're shaking enough where we maybe don't need an additional camera effect to convey the shaking. But if we want to add that in post, that's fine. Anyway.
We know you San Franciscans love gold. We'll come out to the Doughboys and see some comedy gold.
That's right. Oh, was the shaking thing like an earthquake thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, we know you San Franciscans love gold. Come on out to the Doughboys and see some comedy gold. We're going to be at the Palace of Fine Arts Theater on Saturday, January 25th. Tickets at birdfuck.com/live.
What did you think it was?
I thought you were just like, what's shaking? Like a hippie thing, maybe? Like, what's shaking, man?
We'll iron this out before the show. Goodbye.
See you at Sketchfest, doughboyspodcast.com/live or birdfuck.com/live for tickets. Back at it again at Krispy Kreme. So begins one of the most memorable posts of all time on the now-defunct video sharing app, Vine. The sub-6-second clip starts with that direct-to-camera sign-on, followed by the speaker, Interior Donut Shop, Night, executing a spectacular series of back handsprings, climaxing with the acrobat accidentally kicking a large lit sign off the store wall. The dizzying sequence ends as the heavy neon donut signboard plummets to the floor, but notably before impact, which only adds to the video's impact. Back at it again at Krispy Kreme went viral many times over after its 2014 circulation by gymnastics clip aggregator Fab Cheerleader, but its star was unknown for years, before a thoroughly researched 2016 New York Magazine article by Brian Feldman identified him as an Atlanta-based tumbling instructor named Aaron. Aaron said the impromptu routine led to a visit from the cops, resulting in him deleting the clip from his own account and distancing himself till the heat died down. But it was additionally an inadvertent bit of viral marketing for an 87-year-old North Carolina-based donut chain, which endured economic turmoil from overexpansion in the early 21st century and is now stabilized under private ownership. In recent years, it's engaged in fruitful brand partnerships, acquiring Crumble competitor Insomnia Cookies, later Flip for Profit, launching a successful pilot program to offer its donuts inside McDonald's, and, in January 2025, debuting a crossover with grocery store toaster pastry Pop-tarts. The signature non-cereal offering of Kellanova, which rebranded from Kellogg in 2023, apparently because it didn't sound enough like a defense contractor from RoboCop, Pop-tarts debuted back in 1964, after a development process artlessly and joylessly portrayed in Jerry Seinfeld's execrable Netflix original film Unfrosted. A bad movie from Netflix, weird. Feldman's New York Magazine profile of the undercover Vine star concludes with a sentence, quote, asked if he had any other thoughts to add, Aaron stated, as a matter of fact, tumbling is life, end quote. And it's hard to argue, considering Aaron's virtuosic display of human mastery converging with unintentional destruction packs more raw entertainment into 6 seconds than Unfrosted does into 93 dog-shit minutes. This week on Doughboys, we're back at it again at Krispy Kreme to review the Krispy Kreme Pop-tarts collaboration.
Back at it again at Krispy Kreme.
Welcome to Doughboys, the podcast about chain restaurants. I'm Tiger Weiger, along with my co-host, Dr. Eatville, a.k.a. Cat Bastard, the Spoon Man, Mike Mitchell.
1 million nuggets.
Very good.
Very good.
Come on, off the top.
I liked it.
I think, sorry.
Did I get it wrong?
Yeah, I really hate to come in this hot. I think it's out.
It's out.
Yeah.
Ooh, how the fuck do I like
there you
that?
go. Perfect.
1 million nuggets.
Perfect.
I could have changed it up.
I liked it. This is
You
an
think
awesome...
Nuggets is the way to go?
Yeah, I mean, because it's like a doll. Like, is there a food that sounds like dollars? You know,
Okay.
1 million silver dollar pancakes. I guess
That's
that feels
way too long.
Really
exactly
long.
cumbersome.
We're talking about
Yeah.
delicious foods. 1 million doll hairs.
Yeah.
Doll hairs.
1 million dolmas, but then you got to
That's
think about
pretty
what
close.
you got to think of what a dolma is first. I feel like people are like, oh yeah, that thing, the grape thing. You know?
1 million Dole Whips.
That's it.
good.
That's it.
1 million Dole
1
Whips.
million Dole Whips is really good.
You can't have a. That's why we need a good improviser here every week, Wags. You suck. You're really bad.
Yeah, I know.
Me, I suck too.
Why do you think I stopped doing it? I realized it's been longer since I stopped doing
Form?
UCB. Longer form. Thank you for the improv correction. It's been longer in a stretch of time since I stopped performing at the Upright Citizens Brigade than the entire time I performed at the Upright Citizens Brigade. I retired forever at the end of 2015.
Wait, what did you first say? I wasn't paying attention to you.
It's been a longer stretch of time since I stopped doing improv at UCB than the entire length of time I did improv at UCB.
That is
Isn't
wild.
that wild?
That is wild.
Yeah. Hey, this is an Austin Powers 2 themed
1
roast.
million domas? What is this? My big fat groovy wedding? I don't know. See?
This is an Austin Powers 2 themed roast, and since some would say Dr. Evil is an impression of Lorne Michaels' famous speaking voice, I thought it appropriate for Mike Mitchell. Sincerely,
What?
Apropos?
apropos?
I
Yeah,
think,
I
Did you say
yeah.
apropros?
I've never read it aloud.
I'm assuming that was supposed to be apropos.
Yeah.
I've never seen, I don't know how
I mean, it was
apropos
probably
spelled, but I
written like
think-
apropos.
APROPOS.
Yeah, I'm just
Aren't
guessing.
you the
Apropos?
smart-
You said that the word you
Apropos.
were trying to say is apropos.
Oh, okay.
Aren't you the smart one?
I mean, relative to you.
Well, I got news for you, Wags.
Uh-oh.
Wow, here we go. Here's the
New
big
era at
reveal.
Doughboys. I'm now the smart one.
Wow.
Ugh, it gave me a headache almost immediately.
Yeah, you should
Are you gonna
probably
be
wear
wearing
those
that-
for
so
short
for-
periods of time
For audio
before-
listeners, Mitch just
Yeah.
put on a pair of glasses. I think it's a very flattering frame. Looks nice
I
on your
like 'em.
face.
And now this podcast seems quite childish.
Sincerely, Tony Owen at Tony Zines, TonyOwen.com. We got a URL in there. P.S. I wonder if Mitch will say, "Get in my Wally." You did not say that.
Get in my Wally? Like
Yeah.
feet?
Get in my
like
cat?
get inside my cat?
I guess so, yeah.
No, I don't
You-
want you to get in my Wally
Tony,
at
he did
all.
not say that. Roastedbirdfuck.com.
I mean, that is funny. If I was saying to cat food, it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, get in my Wally. That's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Maybe next time you put out cat food, give it a whirl. See how it feels.
Are you going to wear the glasses during the episode, or you just put them on for a taste?
I don't know, because I also do think we talked about how I have brain fog.
Yeah.
And then I've been wearing these, and I've had regular headaches, which is almost a relief, and I haven't had as
Interesting.
much brain fog. It's been a year of trying to figure it out. So I have been trying to wear them at night, especially.
When I first got glasses, I was like nauseous for the first couple weeks when I wore them because it takes a while to get used to it. You're used to not seeing clear, and now you're seeing clear.
Well, it's also like they're progressives, and my mom
Oh.
warned me against getting them. And like when you move your head, like the vision, it does like warp stuff. So I'm not going to keep them on the whole episode.
Is that, and I know it's like disorienting to have like a new way of seeing the world. Is that prescription strong enough where you can look down and see your own hog?
You should. You know what? You should try them.
Okay,
on to
well,
see
yeah.
what my prescription is like.
I got LASIK.
I don't think that
gosh.
my prescription's that. And also, the answer is yes.
My truly favorite thing is to watch a person not quite able to get through their joke. And you were like milliseconds, it was like, can I?
This is what do you know the numbers here?
I don't think it's very strong.
It
But
doesn't seem super strong. I mean, but the thing is, like, I was minus 5.75 in this eye,
Whoa.
minus 4.25 in this eye, and then I got
Wow.
LASIK.
Wow.
I got LASIK 15 years
Fucking
ago.
weak ass
Mitch,
eyes.
may I?
Yes, please.
Okay, I have, so sorry, 20/20 vision.
Wow.
Yep.
Of course.
Sorry.
Emma, what's your prescription?
I am.
Oh.
Mine's very
Oh, are
mild.
they-
I actually
are they
want to
very
try Mitch's
strong,
to
or-
see if it's similar because mine's like -50 and -75. I
Okay.
think, so it's not a lot.
Yeah.
This
She-
is not, I mean,
You
this,
look the coolest in my glasses.
Yeah,
by
you
the
look
way.
cool.
Yeah.
Hey, cool.
Those
thanks.
are good frames. They look good on everyone's.
Hey, all
I
right.
like it.
When I was a kid, I used to take my dad's reading glasses off his bedside table and like put them on and be like, whoa.
Yeah.
And did that give you the same thing?
Kind of, not as intense.
Yeah. They're not
Um,
very intense, but I have an astigmatism, so that
Okay.
is.
Casey, what's your prescription?
I'm +3 in both eyes.
Oh, wow. So you're farsighted.
I'm farsighted.
Wow, interesting. My dad's also farsighted.
You said you were. I thought you said you were farsighted.
I did say farsighted.
Farsighted.
Oh, yeah, you're farsighted.
Someone
Well-
made that joke recently, and I don't know who.
I always forget though, farsighted means you can see
I
far,
can see far,
but not near.
Not near.
Yeah.
And I'm the opposite.
I mean,
I
it's
can't I can't see.
Yeah.
far.
It's
I was
actually pretty
nearsighted.
sweet of us as humans that we decided to name it in the positive.
Yeah, and like what you're good at.
This is what you're good at.
Right.
Hey, guess what? You're farsighted. You can see far.
Yeah,
well
that's
done.
pretty, yeah.
We didn't say like you're near dumb.
Yeah. It's like my mom taking me to shop in the husky section as
Yeah.
a boy. It's like, oh, okay, I'm a husky.
Yeah, this is just a different type.
Yeah.
It's a dog's name. I'm farsighted. If I don't have the glasses on, I see everyone as talking dogs.
Excellent commitment to circling back.
Thank you.
It was
What?
it was on the, I know what it was. We were on the Go Off King stream.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
And they were saying
Yeah,
farsighted.
Stefan and
So
JF made the
I
farsighted
stole
thing.
I stole the joke.
Ah, that's
but you
all
know
right.
what?
Good credit.
Sometimes you gotta steal a joke every so often.
Mitch, I have a little bit of business before we get to our drop. I wanted to revisit this. This was, last week with our very recent episode. I don't know if it was just last week as of this release with our buddy Zach Cherry. We went through some new bits for 2025.
Sure.
One of the bits that I previewed is something that I wanted to make sure that I revisited with Casey present. Casey Donahue, of course, a resident Dune head, and he wasn't here last time. So the bit is, of course, Mitch, Timothée Chalamet had a big year. He plays both Paul Muad'Dib Atreides in Dune and
Yes.
Bob Dylan in
Oh,
A Complete
God.
Unknown.
Yeah.
And of course, last year we had our character based off of Austin Butler appearing in both Elvis and in Dune, Elvis Harkonnen.
Elvis Harkonnen.
Yeah, so now we have a new character that's akin to that, Muad Dylan.
Ooh, really good.
Yeah,
Really good. Yeah, I love it.
Muad Dylan. It was Muad'Dib Dylan, but Emma had the punch up to Muad Dylan. A little bit of simplification.
How many times will they come to steal spice?
Emma, let's hit it.
I hope it's the same song.
How much melange must Atreides consume before he is Lisan al-Gaib? And how many Sardaukar must the Fremen defeat before they're allowed to be free? Yes, and how much water of life must the Reverend Mother drink before Paul can be with Chani? The answer, my friend, is burrowing in the sand.
Ooh, good.
The sandworm is burrowing in the sand.
So the answer is the sandworm?
Yeah,
It's really good.
and then he plays on the little the balisette instead of the harmonica.
Nick, I gotta hand you that
Yeah.
Cartman impression is so great. I thought you would at least have a Dylan. You kind of do.
I kind of I went too low in the register is the problem. I'm too much of an amateur singer.
yeah.
I think it would have been easier if I went up an
No, you
octave.
sound more like
How
Cartman.
much melange Mr. Trades consumed
Sounds like
Full
Cartman.
Cartman.
before Cal's mom won't be a bitch? All right, Mitch, play your job.
Wise, I got some updates from the LAFD.
Oh, great.
The fires are getting really contained because they hired the Hawk Tuah girl, which we mentioned before.
Yeah.
And they said that they wanted me to tell you that they asked for flashlights. You don't have to keep donating flashlights
Oh,
to
because
them.
I get a lot of them.
Yeah, you've been sending them a lot of flashlights.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't need flashlights.
Then I'm gonna
really.
need those back, especially the Darth Maul one.
And also, they have an evacuation around your apartment complex because of the amount of baby oil that you have in your place. So they're just afraid, like, if that goes up.
Look, with Diddy in prison, someone's got to keep Johnson & Johnson in business.
Thank you to the first responders again.
Of course.
How were you affected by our guests? Were you affected by the fires? Or you? I mean, everyone was affected.
Right. No, we were always clear of an evacuation line, but pretty scary. Also, like, does just remind you how giant our city is, but like, and how you have different just places that you go more often.
Yes.
So, like, obviously, I spend more time. Obviously, maybe not obvious. Obvious to me, I spend more time close to the Eaton fire, the Pasadena, Altadena
Sure, yeah.
fire area versus the Palisades fire. So, like, more awareness of what's happening there. So yeah, it's been so sad. But then when my family was like, "This new one's close to you," I'm like, "No, that would take me forever to get there." When the Sunset Fire broke out,
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
right, yeah.
and I was like, "Guys, that's so much farther. Like, can you pay attention?" And then I looked at the map and I was like, "Oh, I'm equidistant. I just don't go to Runyon anymore."
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
like it just is like I don't know.
You're like, oh, I'm 3 miles away.
Yeah,
That's
like I was
basically
like,
what
I'm
yeah.
actually dead center between them, but just emotionally, I was like, I'm very close to the Eaton Fire because I'm in those spaces more often. But yeah, it's been a hard time, but also I think an inspiring time.
True,
100%.
very true, and we're very happy you're safe.
Thank you.
But
Glad everyone here is safe.
Oh, God bless you.
yes, we got very lucky,
Yeah.
and our shitty podcast must go on, as we
It's true.
say.
I'll say, like, as someone who falls asleep to podcasts, when people like did have to take a break, I was like, I understand, but please come back for me. I have to have some of my friends in my ears. Otherwise, the thoughts get in.
I wonder how many people are falling asleep to your Eric Cartman song tonight, Wags.
Hey, there's one in this studio.
Aw.
Jemmy's catching some shut-eye. Cute as shit.
That is super cute.
Yeah.
That's a little croissant.
Yeah.
She is a
Aw.
little
She's
croissant. All right, Emma, let's hit him with a drop, please.
Today is gonna be the day that I'm gonna go number 2. What? I took a shit. I know. By now you should have found out a place where you can poo. I believe Golden Corral is open. Shit, Golden Corral is open. If I don't go real soon, I'll ruin my tidy whities. Shit, ruin my tidy whities. Shit, ruin my tidy whities. Golden Corral is open. Shit, Golden Corral is open. Maybe I'll go there and take a shit.
Are we the only two people that don't sound good with auto-tune? Like, we sound like shit. Auto-tune couldn't tune us to sound good, it sounds like.
Was that a recent drop?
That
Did
was
that
a runner-up.
That was a runner from the drop-off this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, it sounded familiar. I really like that one. That was a song we just riffed out back in our Golden Corral episode. Got turned into a real
you're not the only
composition.
improviser here. We improvised that whole that thing that none of us were laughing at. We improvised that. That was from with Stony Sharp.
Yeah, Buddy Stoney.
Yeah,
Huh.
we love Stony.
Yeah.
Nick and Mitch sing like angels in the Doughboys dance remix of multi-platinum hit song Wonderwall by Oasis. Shout out to the bathrooms at Golden Corral. Warmly, Big Cat Music Squad. They always do a good job. Thank you, Big Cat.
Thank you, Big Cat. Drops at birdfuck.com. We're going to run through the rest of the runners up for the drop-off for the rest of January, but we'll have new drops coming in next month. So please keep sending them in.
That's 100% true. Send those drops in. Not just for drop-offs. We get drops from like 5 years ago because no one sends them anymore, which is okay. We'll still use them.
Some good old drops out there.
Yeah.
Good old drops, you know?
Yeah, the good old drops. Yeah.
And hey, a good old guest in terms of one of our OG guests from back in the day, originator of the McKenna Doctrine, Jessica McKenna is back. Hi, Jess. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
What a treat. Always overdue when you revisit the podcast. We love having you on.
It's true.
I
you
did
so
want
much,
to talk
Jess.
about.
I had my glasses are dirty. I have to clean them.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't announce that for every glasses. I'm new to this again.
Yeah,
He's
it's fine.
new to glasses.
You're new to glasses.
It's been 30 years. I had glasses from when I was a boy, like 6 till 12, 30, and I wore contacts for a few years. So 30 years off, and now I'm back.
What happened to you? Did your
My
eyes improve?
corrected themselves.
They corrected
Oh,
themselves,
cool.
and so you're just
And
fine
when I
for
was
a while.
younger, I've told you this before that they thought I was going to go blind in one eye.
Yeah.
I went to Boston's Children's Hospital, and I wore a patch over my lazy eye for a full year.
That's tough.
Yeah.
My dad also had you should talk to him. My dad also had a lazy eye and wore a patch when he was a boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And back then, glasses were not cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
Harry Potter generation glasses went wild.
No, you get. I mean, like, look, the coolest people in the studio are sitting behind the producer's desk.
Yeah.
They're both 4 eyes. But
Yeah.
back in the day, you'd be called a nerd. You'd be called a
called a
Poindexter.
nerd. You
You have
guys
your
don't even know what
underwear
that's
pulled up over your head.
100%.
I mean,
Where's your bookie wook? 4 eyes.
really gonna put myself on blast here.
Yeah.
I used to wear fake glasses because I liked the way they looked.
See,
Wow,
this
that's
is
cool.
this is the
sometimes
difference.
my sister got a pair from like Claire's or something, and sometimes I would steal them and wear them just like clear frames, and then I did the same like sometimes I would put them on while I worked in a coffee shop in New York. So I was like, I just want to be wearing frames.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is cool.
It's funny, I did that as a kid, and then I actually needed glasses, and I was like, this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's a little
sucks.
bit stolen valor. Like, I shouldn't wear glasses if I don't require them.
Glasses would get you. It was a bullying target. You would get made fun of for
You know,
glasses. I was like mortified that I had to wear glasses.
That
when I
one
was
seems
Yeah.
so bizarre now.
young. Yeah.
I feel like my instinct is only just like, are they cool glasses or not?
Yeah.
You know?
Sure. Yeah.
You think you're saying that I was wearing like big dork glasses when I was younger. I mean,
No.
it probably is possible.
Like what's inherent? I guess it's just like you're not regular.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Is
I
the
think it's just
instinct
like,
behind
any
all
sort of
bullying,
deviation.
yeah.
Right. But also, I think there's a little bit of, because kids are so status obsessed, there's a little bit of like, oh, you've got glasses, that means you're smart. Let's kick the smart kid's ass.
Yeah.
You know,
So weird.
because we can't
Yeah, and how
tolerate
bad
that.
it sucked to have glasses and be fucking dumb.
Yeah, why do we associate glasses with being smart anyhow?
I don't know. There must be some sort of correlation historically between.
I think it's like your eyes are like I think it's like you're reading too much books.
That must
you're
be- maybe
reading
that's
too
what it
many
is.
books. Your eyes got
Yeah.
maybe it
you
dates
wore
to
your eyes out.
maybe it dates to literacy, and you'd see literate people wearing glasses to read, and so you'd be like, oh, it's like a smart thing, a smart guy thing.
You also couldn't play sports with glasses. Most sports you can't play
Yeah.
with
Sure,
glasses.
that's part
of it
so
too,
you
yeah.
couldn't be a jock, so you had to be a nerd.
That's
Right.
true. Yeah.
So,
What do you have?
No,
a
I was
theory?
gonna say instantly that feels like a really good working theory.
Yeah.
That it comes from when we didn't have as many people who were literate. And
Yeah.
then if you were literate and you're like, ow, my eyes.
Yeah.
They'd be like, nerd. Go in those scrolls and start helping us heave these plague bodies.
Jess, I'm always a fan of your PTR experience, PTR episodes. I listened to your recent one where you talked about the Disney app. But I want to drill down like Disney bites. Have you been to the parks recently, and have you had any decent bites?
Yes. Okay. I went to the park in November, and I had some great bites, and I had a new bite that I didn't know about.
Wow. It's been
Yeah.
around for a while.
I don't
bite?
know. No, I think it's only a few years old, which is why maybe it wasn't on my radar. But it is the churro fudge.
Churro
Wow,
fudge.
churro fudge.
Yes. So like on Main Street, like right off of like that I think it's the Jolly Roger, that restaurant right at the end as you're like walking down Main Street and you're veering left into Adventureland. That restaurant there at the end that has, it's like also the end of the strip of all the connected stores on Main Street that start, at the Emporium and go all the way through the candy store.
Okay.
They have churro fudge. It's like it's great. Or not fudge, brittle? Bark.
Bark. Okay.
Wow.
Churro bark.
That sounds
Churro
delightful.
bark.
Yeah, because it has a snap to it, not a soft fudge.
And it has a similar to like flavor profile to churros. Like it
Yes.
tastes like a churro.
Yes, but
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Because they do have good churros at Disney too.
It's one of my must gets.
Yeah. They don't have the churros at Costco anymore. The churros now, they have the double chunk chocolate cookie, which is a good cookie.
Yeah.
But I do miss like the availability of a good churro.
Yeah, churros are
Yeah,
delicious.
I've never heard of this. If you said churro bark to me in the past, I would have thought Pluto got too close to one of the churro vendors. Surely that must be what it is.
Would be my assumption too. I had a friend I like you. I grew up in SoCal, and so you just know people who worked at Disneyland.
Right.
I had a friend who worked at Disneyland, and he worked for the Jungle Cruise, and so
Whoa.
He must have been
Yeah.
pretty
Great
funny.
job. Great
he was,
job.
yeah.
Was
But
he funny?
yeah, funny dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he worked the Jungle Cruise, and he was walking by.
And you're the friend that got into comedy? You must have been so confused.
Mitch, if you knew my group of friends in high school, you'd be like, this guy? Everyone has a fucking job. So like he was walking by the candy shop, and there was I'm trying to remember exactly what the bit he did was. I think he was in the candy shop, and he went behind the counter, and there was another employee there, and he pretended to put both his arms into the candy mix. And he was like, and the other employee was like, oh, you like clearly played it off like they thought it was a bit. The next day he comes into the park, and he's met at the gate by his boss and then a union rep. And he goes in there like, so you stuck your arms into a vat of candy yesterday, and we had to destroy $2,000 worth of inventory. And he had to be like, No, I was doing like a bit. I thought they knew that I was doing it. Like none of it, like completely just didn't work. He didn't lose his job.
Oh my God.
But it was like an insane
Whoa.
situation. Yeah.
He didn't really put his
He didn't actually do it. No, he pretended to do it. Like he was like, it was one of those things where he was like behind a counter.
Sure.
I told the story poorly. I haven't thought about it in years. He was like behind the counter. There was a big vat, and he put his arms behind the counter, so like it was blocked, but it looked like it could have been going into the vat.
Yeah.
And then he was convinced the other person like just played it off like they knew that he was doing a bit.
But the other person was just being like going with it, but they were like, I'm going to have to report this because that's destroyed,
exactly. Right.
unhygienic.
That's so, what a fool.
Isn't that wild?
This
Yeah.
other person is.
That's wild.
No offense to them, but they sound like a fool.
They sound like a fool.
So wait, this is Down on Main Street. Is that
Churro bark.
Is that a Bob Seger song, Down on Main Street?
Oh, I thought you were going
I'd
to
say
say
churro
bark.
bark, yeah.
Is Churro Bark a Bob Seger song? Is Down on Main Street? Is that a Bob Seger
Sounds
song?
like something.
Yeah.
I don't know Bob Seger's catalog though.
Yeah, neither do I.
Oh, well, fuck it. I fucked
Sorry.
up. I fucked
Sorry,
up.
Mitch.
More of a
Maybe it's about this place. I never go into the Main Street shops too often.
Yeah.
I hit the Hall of Presidents. I leave after Trump's done his bit. And oh man, is there gonna be 2 Trumps?
No.
No, I don't think they're gonna. They're at a second one.
It would be really funny if they put a second one up.
Because who's the other one who had non-consecutive
Grover
terms? Grover Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yeah. So there aren't 2 Grover Clevelands.
There should be. That's kind of funny.
It'd be funny if they
Well,
put. I mean, it
if
would be
there's-
funny if they put up a second Trump, but I don't think they're going to.
Yeah.
Remember the Trump robot at the Hall of Presidents like looked like Hillary, like it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
clearly they made a Hillary one and
Right,
then
right,
Trump
right.
And they're like,
won.
whoops.
Whoops, we need to. Yeah, no, sad. It sucks.
I will say that I am a little bummed that trivia question isn't hit the same way anymore. Like, who was the only president who had 2 non-consecutive terms? Now there's a second one. It's like,
Yeah.
it was kind of cool that there was like one that you'd like kind of obscure president you point to from the 19th century.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
But you're very happy with this one. now,
Otherwise,
too.
great.
My only complaint.
Churro bark. I gotta try some
Churro
churro bark.
Yeah.
Can I hear you? What's your day what's your Disney day?
Whoa.
I mean, like,
How
look.
much time do we have?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, I'll tell you this. Like,
Yeah.
for me, if I'm at Disney, I gotta ride Pirates. That's one thing I gotta do.
Great.
Sure.
And then I either gotta do Space or Thunder Mountain. I gotta do one of those.
Sorry, and you get off of Pirates once you see Johnny Depp, right?
You swim away.
Yeah.
You just close your eyes whenever he bops out of a barrel.
Yeah, well, he frightens me.
Yeah. Ah, get away from me.
What a misfire to put Johnny Depp in the Pirates ride.
Yeah, I mean it's a good animatronic.
It
Yeah.
is. It's really good. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
But like he waves goodbye to you at the end. It feels like they made a mistake there. It feels like they shouldn't have.
I think they
Depp.
didn't know that he
Yeah.
was maybe going to get
He had
canceled.
created like a sort of once in a generation pop culture character. you
Right.
know?
It's kind of like populating the Indiana Jones ride with Harrison Ford's likeness. It's kind of like, well, that's the association you have with this IP, you know?
Sure, yeah.
And then you're not expecting the man to get canceled.
I mean, and also I don't like the ride becoming more like the movie, anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Sure.
But I still that is like that. I have to go on Pirates.
Well,
That's
there's
the
also,
one I love.
I mean, this is the thing. It's not the only place you encounter that. Like if you go to Universal, the Baby Driver ride, which is great, but it's got Spacey all over
I
it.
know.
The great animatronic Spacey. It's very lifelike.
Yeah.
But it's just.
But it's in
takes you out of
3D,
it.
and so I get nauseous.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
right,
everything
yeah.
at Universal is like a small simulator ride. But an amazing soundtrack.
It's also weird that they have the character that Spacey plays walking around the park too.
It is weird that they have
Yeah.
a walk around Spacey.
It is weird.
Anyway, what is your Disney day?
Well, it depends if I'm doing park hopper, which I normally do now,
Oh,
and
okay.
then I usually start at California Adventure, and no, wait, that's not true. I usually start at Disneyland. The last time I went, I started at California Adventure. Usually start at Disneyland.
Disneyland is a better park, right? Overall, I would
Yeah,
guess.
I mean, I now experience them as like one
sure.
park really, but
Yeah.
I started Disneyland, and recently in the last like couple years I probably start in Galaxy's Edge. I start in Star Wars Land.
Wow, you start there.
Yeah,
Interesting.
because like if I maybe
Is it Canto Bite?
Canto Bite. Well, Canto Bite is from Last Jedi. The fictional world from is Batu.
Right. It's yeah. What is it?
It's the outpost of Black Spire or something like that on the planet Batu, and the
Batu,
area is
yes.
called Galaxy's Edge, and thus we must all call it Star Wars Land.
It's true, 100%.
But
you're
usually
100%
the last
right.
couple of times I'm usually like shepherding nieces and nephews around, and it's like, okay, I got us a lightning lane for Rise of Resistance super early. Let's get a breakfast at Olga's Cantina, and I'll
That's
have like
fun.
a boozy drink at 8 a.m. because it's like the time I'll get into this cantina.
That's fun.
It's also like, well, I think they've changed this, but it was like one of the only places you get alcohol on the Disneyland side, and they make pretty fun cocktails. So I'm usually starting there and then maybe hitting a few other big ticket items, maybe Big Thunder, maybe Pirates, maybe staying over there.
Yeah.
And then I like to pivot for maybe a lunch reservation over at California Adventure because usually the kids need like more of a sit-down break.
What age are we talking?
4 to 11 was the last.
Okay, so these are pretty young kids.
Yeah.
What's your go-to spot for lunch in California Adventure?
So when we have also like if my mom's with me or my sister or like my brother-in-law, if there's also like adults in the crowd, we usually go to the Italian restaurant in Napa.
Ooh,
Fun.
okay.
And then so people can get, again, another cocktail. You can drink a lot more at Disneyland,
Yes.
and that offsets the stress that I have of being the heavy as the head who runs the app.
100%. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm going to have some bevies throughout the day.
Yeah.
You're going to be a hero, though, at the end of the day,
exactly.
too. Yeah,
So then I usually do California Adventure up through dinner and either also eat dinner over there because I do sort of find the food sit-down option sometimes better over there.
Yeah.
But like my family loves Guardians. We have to do Midway Mania. So a lot of other favorites over there. We almost always strike out on being able to get in cars because it's Radiator Racer is really hard.
Last time we had
quite a queue.
fast passes and it broke down.
That ride rocks, though. It's so
It's
fucking
so
good.
great, but
It's
it
good.
can sometimes like you have to pick your places to like spend money to get fast passes or
Right,
lightning
right.
lanes.
Sure.
And it's typically been that people are more interested in getting Guardians or like just the age range, getting Guardians or already using it in the morning on Rise of the Resistance. Then I'll usually do the nighttime back at Disneyland. Now we're hitting anything big we didn't get.
Wow.
Maybe a nighttime space.
Wow. that's good.
Going over to Tomorrowland. Maybe there's like a churro to tide us over or a hot cocoa, depending on the time of year.
Mhm.
Or a bucket of popcorn while you wait for Buzz Lightyear. And
You got this down.
Yeah,
you got this. You got this on lock.
Yeah, what a
That's
like
a
a
typical-
sequence of events. That's great.
That's sort of the vibe.
What an agenda.
That's damn good. Do you ever do a breakfast Ronto wrap?
Is that the one with these guys?
The Ronto roasters.
Yeah, I was just gonna say back to
Jess
the
is doing like a hand crank
so
motion
sorry.
for our audio listeners.
Yes. I got that for the first time when I went in November. Very good. And I got the meatless, or I got like the veggie option. Delicious.
Wow. Okay.
Very flavorful and quick.
Yeah. They're fast there.
I told you, bitch, before, but my alpha brother Nate Weiger, he sent me a pic once that he was like at the top of the leaderboard for Astro Blasters.
Wow.
Because he like found like he was like I found an exploit. He found like one target he could just hit repeatedly.
Yeah.
Like and it was one of the high value ones.
He's
So
an
it was
alpha.
Like, yeah, it's fucking cool as hell.
Man,
Yeah.
Space Mountain at nighttime. What is there anything better?
Oh, I love it so much. It's a great ride.
It sounds like it would be a great. I'm sure that do you say you bring your nieces and nephews? Is that who it is?
Yeah, and they're great. And my like sister who like obviously also grew up going but didn't internalize the same intensity as I did.
Sure.
She's very grateful. Usually like buys me a thank you gift for being boss.
That rules.
Which rules, yeah. It's nice to be appreciated. But it is funny. I'm obviously try to just be funny all the time.
Yeah.
But like the longer that you actually as kids grow up, you like find your pockets where you like are a little stern,
Yeah.
or usually it's only around like safety because I'm not their parent. But like every once in a while you're like, hey, knock that off, like takes a village to raise a kid,
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to be in there. And when they started complaining about like a 25-minute standby wait for Big Thunder, I was like, hey, zero tolerance for that. This day is costing your parents hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
And when I was your age, I pulled out when I was your age, there were no fast passes.
Yeah.
And we only waited in line.
Mhm.
And when I got to come here when Indiana Jones opened, I waited in line for 2.5 hours to
Yeah.
ride it and then got back in to wait for for 2.5 hours again.
Wow.
I say it a little softer than that. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, just to put this in perspective, because it depends is it happening early in the day and you just they just don't know that there's something else that they should be aware of?
Sure.
Or are they hangry and you're like, do you
Yeah.
actually just need a snack?
Sure.
Or is it the end of the day and you're like, I've been busting my butt for you all day. This was at the beginning of the day and I was like, just to level set for you guys, because I want you to have a good experience. If your mom hears you complaining like that, it's not going to go well. Okay? So, because here's what we had.
Honestly, you should come in here and talk to Nick and I like this sometime.
Yeah. But
Probably helpful.
I can see like my sweet niece like hearing this and her being like, okay, yeah. Okay, got it. And then if they like felt the instinct to complain later, they'd be like, no, it's not even that bad. It's not even that bad. And I'd be like, good job, guys.
That pre-Fast Pass reality, which feels so long ago now, but it's like it's hard to conceptualize.
It's what, 15 years at least, or
more
20?
Than that, I think,
20
since
years?
they were
I think
initially
they came
introduced.
out when I was in middle school, like 2000-ish, 2001.
Yeah.
But when I was a little kid, yeah.
Sure.
So I definitely still got to benefit. I had like an annual pass in middle school and early high school. And they had started rolling it out. And at that point, when I was already like very invested in running the show, I'm really loving that the last time I was on, I was like, I am a Tracy Flick. And the two of you were like, not really. And I was like, I am. I used to take everyone's tickets and sprint around the park to go get the fast passes.
Yes, right.
We wouldn't move quick enough as like a group.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I'll just do it as like a 13-year-old. And I'd like sprint through the crowd and be like, okay, I got us Indiana Jones for 210 to 310. Next one available, 12:59. Like
that's I remember the early day because I was out here, I believe, at that point when the first
paper
like
fast
the
passes.
Me too. They also had individualized graphics on top for what ride it was. They were cool.
I gave the Quincy guys like the best day at Disney. It was when I think the app was first available and you could get the fast pass on the app and you didn't have to pay money.
Yeah.
And we just like went on and they were like, oh my God. And I was like, yeah, people, it was like before. And now every single person uses the app. I don't like Star Wars Land.
Okay.
I don't like it. I think that the Millennium Falcon ride is bad.
That I might concede to at this point. I think like the line experience of it is pretty fun. Like like the moment where you go into little groups and but yeah, the ride is basically nauseating.
When you're on the Falcon, like when you're in what looks like the Falcon, I think some of that is funny. You take a picture at the chess table or whatever.
Sure.
Or whatever the fuck it's called.
I still have not gone and I still have not experienced Batu. I've not visited Batu. I've not been to.
And
to
you've
theme
been
parks
at Disney while it's open. You just did not walk over into it.
Was that true?
Yes.
Wow.
We went to the Blue Bayou.
Oh, that was that day.
Yeah, it was right. It was Star Wars Land was open.
Well, I hit my head on the tram. What do you want? I was disoriented all day.
And then and
fucking dizzy.
And we went and we rode Rise of the Resistance later, I think.
Yeah, here's because we had to leave. That was also the same day we went into Pirates Dinner Adventure.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think here's what I think happened, Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was like, we don't have enough time, and you're like, it's gonna be fine. And then I left, and you went and rode it anyway.
Yeah.
And then you were right, and then I got mad because you got to ride it, and then you still made it on time.
Well, how about that? We got to be on time to eat, go to fucking Pirates Dinner, which the meal was the worst shit we ever ate.
It was fucking awful. Great show.
Wait, what were you going to say?
I think I was going to say I would have really helped that situation. I can feel it. I believe a friend of mine from high school is in that pirate show.
That's cool.
Wow, we Jeff Budner, right?
That's right. Yeah,
we invited him.
He was in the show, and he did a great performance in the show, and he came on the podcast.
The performance was great.
Yeah, the show was great. The meal was awful.
When I see clips, I'm like, this looks pretty fun.
It's pretty fun.
It was fun.
It's a fun time. Just like I would just eat ahead of time and know that you're basically getting like, like a frozen meal that's been reheated in a microwave.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to ask you. We could talk about Disney all day, but this has also been a big year. We can. This has also been a big year for musicals. You're a very talented musical performer. I think someone who has a lot of musical knowledge. I'm going to run down a few of these. If you've seen any of these or have any thoughts on any of these that you'd like to share, I'd just like to get your take. I feel like the rundown is we got Wicked, we got Emilia Perez, we got Joker 2. And then, in a sense, kind of a jukebox musical, we got a complete unknown.
So I haven't seen Emilia Perez yet, but I plan on seeing it.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Joker 2, and I probably won't.
Yeah,
'Cause I don't-
I hated both of those movies.
I like
Yeah.
to
really
include it
disliked
in the
both of those
musical.
movies.
I guess you're right. By
Yeah, like
It's a
including
it is a
musicals.
full-fledged musical.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I really liked Wicked. I was like, when Wicked came out, I was in high school, and I feel like it got very overplayed in my drama room. Like I was a
Sure.
little like, ugh, I prefer Les Mis. Like I just like thought, and then I saw it, and I was like, oh, this is good, but it didn't like it wasn't like one of my musicals.
Yeah, sure.
And then as the musical, like the first trailers, I was like, oh God, I don't know. And then it did just sort of so deeply scratch my theater kid brain when I finally saw it, and I was like, there's a lot about it that I thought they did really well, that I really liked. And I realized how in my DNA the musical was, even though I didn't attribute it as one of my favorite ones. I was like, I actually do know all of these words. And so I really liked it. My highs on it are Ariana Grande's comedic performance that I feel like was really, really well matched for like cinema.
Right.
Because that part on stage is like chewing the scenery, like is landing on the bed and like throwing up a kick. You know, it's a big performance, which is great for the stage. And I thought her choice to like make Galinda like sort of a little more vacant and like have that really work for camera, I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
And then shout out, very biased, I went to theater camp with the choreographer.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, so shout out Christopher Scott.
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
That's-
that's very cool. He's worked with John Chu for years.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing to like watch his like rise and success. But I was like, when his name comes up as like choreographed by Christopher Scott, you're like, oh my God, this is incredible.
That's cool.
That is
So I had a
cool.
very like emotional way in. So for me, I was like, this is pretty well done. And I feel like maybe most other cons about it would be stuff about like if you don't like Wicked.
Yeah, I because for me, and my big con is just the part one of it.
Yeah.
Well,
Like it is a little
well.
bloated, but it is a very impressive production.
A little
And I love just
surprise,
seeing a lot of
Wags.
bodies in frames. That's
Yeah,
the big
right?
thing. Like, and it's the choreography was a highlight. So that's a shout out to your friend.
Wow,
Okay, so we
thank
have a
you.
little bit of a surprise here. This is, I mean, I guess it's just a surprise for us. It's just a treat for us. It doesn't really do anything for the audience.
No.
I just want to say
Yeah.
the process of getting this pizza was adorable. And it was a lot of Mitch just being like, I don't know, in a world where we got pizza and then never mind. And then Nick being like, I think you want pizza. And then everyone on the team being like, we're happy to get pizza. But Mitch still being like, no, nobody wants pizza. But of course, everyone's always happy when pizza
Yeah.
comes.
We got pizza.
We got pizza.
and Amelia, amazing about it.
Thank you, Amelia, for bringing this in. Mitch, where's this pizza from?
Amelia, hey, Wags, when you said to Amelia that she could get anything she wanted, it looks like she got a second pizza for us.
I love that.
It wasn't me texting her.
Wait a minute.
It wasn't me texting her, get a second pizza. That's crazy.
Even more dance about this pizza.
I want this slice. I'm taking, you know, when there's a slice that's available.
You want
Yeah.
and
a
they take
cheese
the
or you want
slice,
the
but you
other
know
one?
what? I'm just doing that because it looks like a better slice. Sorry, Jemmy. Am I crushing you?
No, she's good.
Is there a better depiction in media of pizza than Ninja Turtles?
No,
I think it's pretty. It's up there. What else? I mean, what are the other options?
That's a good slice.
Mitch, where's this pizza from?
this is Lasorted, Wags.
Great.
This is and right now they're doing they're doing like a pizza coalition for the firefighters in Los Angeles, and I think they're just donating a bunch of different pizza places, but Lasorted I think is hosting it.
Wow. So they're heroes, and in a sense, for supporting them, we're heroes.
I think so.
Mitch,
Safe to say.
we gotta go backwards in time a little bit, Jess, because yes, you're correct. The characterization of Mitch hemming and hawing over ordering pizza, and ultimately us talking him into doing what he wanted to do in the first place. But this all came from Susser. So Susser, who also showed up to our meal today,
This is true.
he group texted.
He's gonna be so mad he missed pizza.
I didn't even think about that. So Susser, we're having donuts today, which we'll get to. Susser group text, is it true that pizza's being ordered to the studio before the record? I reply, first I've heard of this. Susser, well, now that it's out there, maybe it's a good idea. It worked.
Incredible.
It worked in the best way possible. Sorry.
Does that basically count as manifesting?
I guess so.
It worked in the best way possible in that he isn't here for it, too.
All right, I'm having a slice of cheese. While I bite into this,
I gotta say that
Really nice.
that one's really good. It's spicy, whatever the hell it is.
what is that? A spicy Italian?
So yeah,
So you got some sausage
it's
on
got
the bad
some,
boy?
It's got some
Looks like
sausage in there, wise.
S&P no burrata.
Oh, maybe no burrata.
Is that right? You reading that?
Why the fuck should you take the burrata off?
Well, that's a good
I
slice.
freaking love burrata.
Yeah, I love burrata. Or maybe you can order it on top of that.
It feels like there's a sharper, harder cheese in this cheese blend. Was like a Romano in there or something?
Mm-hmm.
Or like a Parmesan
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
That's got some tang, some
Yeah.
salt.
I like it.
It's nice.
A little pungent. It's a delight. Casey, you don't want any pizza?
I already had lunch. I'm not very hungry.
I already had
Why?
lunch.
That
I'm
one's
having
called
pizza.
the cheese pizza called the Mamba.
Wow, I love that.
All right, I got Amelia to come in. I asked her to bring me a Coke Zero, and then we're gonna grill her on this.
Can we talk Massachusetts a little bit?
Sure.
So, just as I'm chewing, you have a little bit of a connection.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this before we recorded. The big thing that I learned, and I've heard a lot of Massachusetts specifics from Mitch over the years.
This guy, he talks about where he's from.
He does a little bit, yeah. It'll come up. You can use your arm to indicate Massachusetts geography.
So sorry. Specifically Cape
Cape
Cod.
Cod.
Specifically
Come on,
Cape
Marge.
Cod geography.
Yeah.
Well, I don't fucking know. It's not where I'm from. I'm
He's
doing my best.
learning. Yes. So we were talking ahead because my brother lives in Boston, and he is lucky enough to also have a house on Cape Cod. And my sister-in-law, even though she grew up in Rochester, her family used to go to the Cape in the summer because her dad's from Massachusetts. Almost everyone on that side, like, went to BU or Harvard, very like Boston based. And so now that's where they live, and they spend the whole summer on the Cape. And he was asking me where on the Cape, and I said Dennis, and he was like, oh, we used to have a place in Sandwich. So for the audio listeners, I'm now holding up super dope flexed arm with like great muscle tone. Really just like,
Oh, gun's looking good.
Such a jacked
the
arm.
guns
Yeah.
are out.
Thank you so much. And I pointed to where Dennis is, which is like upper bicep. It's Bayside versus Oceanside. So they're Bayside Dennis, and then Sandwich is closer to the armpit. Sorry.
Mhm.
Because it's closer to where, Massachusetts proper.
Can't believe you say a word like armpit on the Doughboys podcast.
I know.
Thank you for apologizing.
Forgive me. And they were like, and then all the way up here is P-Town. Provincetown is up at the end.
Wow, at the top, at where your fist is.
Yep.
Wow,
So that's Cape Cod.
I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
It's like the Michigan hand thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But for like a smaller bit of real estate, so you can really kind of zero in. Now, next time you look at a map, really zoom in. I mean, it really looks like an arm.
I will.
You guys at home, too.
I don't even know I don't know the geography at all. This is all this stuff is.
We can't do it like
Massachusetts-
Jess does because Cape Cod doesn't have like a big sag at the bottom of it. Our arms don't work for this. Our arms don't work for this.
Massachusetts just like a standard, like skinny-ish rectangle of a state, going outward, and then off of its little end, there's the Cape. And then you got Nantucket is like, I don't know, where's Nantucket, Mitch?
I once knew a man from Nantucket.
What about them?
Oh, we'll talk about it later.
And Martha's Vineyard, those are both like, where are they?
They're islands.
They're islands.
Yeah.
They're,
I
I
should
don't
know
know.
this, but I never really went to Martha's Vineyard or Nantucket. I mean, they are. Nantucket is an island, right, Emma?
Yes.
Yeah.
They both
And then
are.
they both are.
Okay, so if it's the arm,
Uh-huh.
Martha's Vineyard is also kind of near the armpit,
armpit,
and
yes.
then Nantucket's like over here,
Okay.
off the
Because
elbow,
you
sort
take
of
the-
below the elbow.
For the visual.
The ferry to
Yeah, the ferry to Martha's Vineyard
Vineyard
is
is-
fairly quick. I think it's like an hour, and then to Nantucket it's like 2 or 3 hours.
But it's like right near the start of the Cape. That right
yes,
at the very
yeah.
I don't know.
And Casey is a Floridian. If you want to indicate where you are in the state, you just kind of hang your hog, right?
Yeah, that is how we do it in Florida.
Got it.
Makes
It's a
sense.
mangled ass hog. Massachusetts.
Oh,
Almost,
Mitch, that's what they look like.
Oh,
If
my
your
hog-
dick doesn't
Those
look
glasses
like
aren't working
Florida,
yet.
oh man.
My hog looks like Rhode Island. I always felt like Massachusetts almost looks like a mini version of the United States, kind of. I always thought that.
Like Cape Cod is like a mini Florida.
Florida, yeah, kind of, right? I don't know. Not
Okay.
really, a little
Sure, the
bit.
peninsula, I get it.
Whatever, it's close.
Emma, can we give Jemmy any treats?
Oh, yeah, I mean, she can have some cheese pizza. I mean, just a little
Are you
bit.
thinking of giving Jemmy a slice of cheese
Maybe
pizza?
give her like a piece of sausage or something. I don't know. Maybe nice.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, I mean, sure.
Look, a lot of people will say she shouldn't have the sausage, but I'm telling you, this dog used to eat on the streets, so her stomach is pretty iron. Watch, she'll reject it, though, and it'll be really funny.
Yeah, she maybe doesn't seem into the pizza crust. Oh, maybe she's no, she
Just
doesn't
let her
want
sit
it.
with it for a
She
second.
wants a
Let it
couple
cook.
licks, you know? She wants to feel it out.
Way to go,
She's
Wags.
really skeptical. Well, if you give her like a piece of meat, she might like it, but she maybe doesn't know what to do with a little chunk of bread.
I don't know.
All right,
She
fine.
eats a lot of Mike's bread, so.
That is a very cute doggo.
Yeah, cute as hell.
But she knows how to play the long game now. She's like, well, if I just sit here and stare, they'll give me some more.
I kind of want all my meat on my pizza.
All right, you've been saying you were also saying you've been doing some golfing with your hubby. What is the like? How did you get into golf, and what's your typical golf day?
So I got into golf originally when I when my parents got divorced.
Wow.
I was like, oh, I should have like an activity I do with dad. Because as the youngest of three, I was like really the only one in the situation where it was like, this is now time with dad. Everyone else, like the other two were like in college basically. And it was like, my dad and I would go see a movie or I'd like go hang out. But it was like, oh, maybe we should have an activity. So then I started taking golf lessons.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mom took golf lessons and my brother took golf lessons too. And then they instantly got good at it. And I hated it and quit and got furious because I would like be really bad. And I don't like doing things I'm bad at.
I'm with you.
It's hard. 'Cause
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather do things you're good at?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a kid.
You're
When you're a kid, I'm just like, I suck at this. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. Well,
You're still a podcaster.
yeah, I said especially when you're a kid. As adults, we have to do things we're bad at all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Drive, taxes. And then I got back into it like slowly. I feel like it was like family trip things, or then it became my mom started playing a lot, so it became like something fun that we could do.
Yeah.
And then similarly, like when Morgan married into our family, he would sometimes be the fourth to fill out like my brother, my brother-in-law, my mom, and Morgan would sometimes go
force
play.
them, Wags. That's what happens with golf. You gotta force them going.
And it just kind of has like slow evolved where I was like, well, maybe I could get into this because it's something to do outside. It's like, and then I feel like a lot of people got into it during COVID because it was something to do outside that was like a way to still see friends that was safer. And but I'm still very bad, and Morgan's gotten good, which is annoying. And so I can only play when we play like little rinky-dink courses, and it's still very much about like, are we going to get some beers?
That's what I wanted to ask
Yeah.
about. Because we had recently on the podcast, we had Link Smith, John O. Wilson, and was talking about the 19th hole. You know, you go to the clubhouse and you get yourself a treat. What is that like?
That's pretty fun. But I mean, when I like, maybe it's because we're mostly playing in vacation mode. But like my brother-in-law, and Morgan, it was like we got like a tequila soda from the cart person.
Oh, you're bringing on the course.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
And then you get to blame anything you do on that.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah. When John brought up the 19th hole, you really perked up for a second. You were really interested in figuring out what the 19th hole
I like the
was.
19th hole.
Yeah.
I'm aware of the concept of the 19th hole.
Yeah, all right. You know what it is?
I
All
know what
right.
the 19th hole is.
I think you thought it was a little something different when you first brought it up.
I start tallying up. Let's see. Ear holes, eye holes.
19
Yeah,
holes.
cool.
Good God.
I
Fours,
told
where
you,
are we at?
one of my dad's last gifts to me was a set of golf clubs.
Yeah.
And I have not really played that much. But I'm trying to get back into golf. A nice outdoor sport. I like doing it. I'm very bad at it. And I never
Yeah,
like
it's
you.
hard. It's like
hard.
impossible.
It's hard.
But you get a beard crumb.
That's all right.
All right. Let's get
That's
it.
all right.
Okay, let's get
gone?
to
Yeah, you got it.
I got it.
let's get to Krispy Kreme.
Hold on a second. I want to talk about Bugmain doesn't like Wicked. He told me this yesterday because he's like the Wicked Witch tried to kill Toto. Like how can you have a story about how she's good if she tried to kill
sure.
Toto?
Well, who passed that story on, you know?
That's a good
History
point.
is written by the winners. So
We're watching a stage production of what
we don't know. We'll never know the there's three versions, yours, mine, and the truth, you know?
That is true. That's true. I agree. I'm on board. My mom and sister watched Wicked, and my mom was like, "Oh, I don't want to watch Wicked." I saw the play and she didn't like it, and then she watched the movie, my sister, and she was like loving it at the end of it.
Yeah.
I watched it, but I didn't pay too much attention to it. I got to watch it again at some point. You watched it, Wags, right?
Yeah, I watched this on the theater. Me and Ellie did.
Yeah. Did you go to a
When next
sing?
time?
Did you go to a sing along?
No, I didn't go to sing along.
No, but I would go to a sing along at this point, now that it's been out for a while and
Yeah.
I have already seen it.
Yeah. I've never been to a sing-along. I've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show in the movie theater.
We went to a sing-along. We went to, I've maybe told the story before. We went to a sing-along at the, what the fuck is the theater that's got that, the Disney-owned theater in Hollywood? Pantages?
The Egypt.
No, not the Egyptian. That's the Egyptian, yeah. Is the Egyptian, they had a sing-along of Little Mermaid.
No, not the Egyptian.
El Capitan.
El Capitan, thank you. The El Capitan. We saw a We saw a sing-along of Little Mermaid, and it was actually really fun.
Which, like the actual animated or the like?
Not the new one.
Okay.
No, not the woke one. No. No, it was the cartoon. It was the animated one from when we were kids, and so it was a lot of fun.
That one's pretty woke too.
They put the subtitles up on screens. You can sing along. It was great. At the end, when the credits come, they had a mascot character of Sebastian.
Great.
And it turned into the part in Apocalypse Now where the GIs rush the stage at the USO show and try to tackle the dancing girls.
Oh no!
It was fucking crazy.
People were too excited.
People were too excited to see Sebastian. They were like running up the stage and they had to get security to get people out of there. It was fucking
people,
wild.
or was it kids, or was it people?
It was adults. It was mostly Disney adults.
What the fuck is wrong with us? Dear Lord, that is insane.
Yeah.
I gotta get a pic with Sebastian.
Man or woman in a Sebastian suit. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was wild.
Then again, if we went to Amelia has left, she's gone.
Bye, Amelia.
If there was an Avatar showing and a Na'vi came out on that, we would probably rush.
Oh my god, if there was a Payakon mascot character, we'd both be out there. One of our favorite whales. Okay, so I know it's technically a Tulkun. Okay, let's talk about Krispy Kreme.
Phew. I got so scared there for a second.
Mitch, buddy, how many times has this happened to you? You sign up for something, forget about it after the trial period ends, then you're charged month after month after month.
Why? It happens to me all the time.
Happens to me too. The subscriptions are there, but you're not using them. In fact, I just learned that 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month. Wow.
And 85% of the time, it's the Doughboys double.
That's true. But thanks to Rocket Money, I can see all of my subscriptions in one place, including podcast Patreons that I don't listen to anymore, and cancel the ones I'm not using. And now I'm saving more money.
Wow. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. See all your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going.
For ones you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them. Rocket Money's dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses across your accounts.
Easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to help keep your spending on track. See your monthly spending trends in each category to know exactly where your money is going. Get alerts if bills increase in price, there's unusual spending activity, or if you're close to going over budget. Wow.
Budget, threshold, approaching, alerts like that. The new goals feature automatically saves money for you, so you don't have to think about it. Pay off credit card debt, put away money for a house, or just build your savings. Rocket Money makes it easy.
That's your reaction when you see that your budget's almost over, right?
I do, yeah, that's what I say aloud.
Rocket Money will even try to negotiate to lower your bills for you. They automatically scan your bills to find opportunities to save. Then you can ask them to negotiate for you. They'll deal with customer service so you don't have to.
Wow. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features.
Wow. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/doughboys today. That's rocketmoney.com/doughboys. rocketmoney.com/doughboys.
Wow. Hey, you, the listener, what sort of promises have you made to yourself this year? Getting in better shape, eating healthier, saving more money, traveling somewhere new? What about discovering a new culture by learning a new language? With Babbel, you can in just a few weeks. Play the sound effect.
Wags, our listeners, you think that they've made a promise to get in better shape and eat healthier? I don't think so.
But discover a new culture via learning a new language very well
That's
might.
a very, very big possibility. This year, speak like a whole new you with Babbel, the language learning app that gets you talking.
Learning a new language is the pathway to discovering new cultures, so why not embark on learning something new? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons, handcrafted by over 200 language experts, get you to begin speaking your new language in 3 weeks or whatever pace you choose.
And because conversing is the key to really understanding each other in new languages, Babbel is designed using practical, real-world conversations. Spending months with private teachers is the old way of learning languages, and nothing screams tourist like holding a phone translation app up to your face all day.
Babbel's tips and tools are inspired by the real-life stuff you actually need when communicating. With a focus on conversation, you'll be ready to talk wherever you go. Mitch, you know I use Babbel, and I've been using it to brush up on Espanol, Spanish, which was a language I learned in high school, but it's been a while. I got a little bit rusty. There was some stuff I retained, some stuff I needed to brush up on. What's great about it is that it's not just good for travel, but also, that from living in Southern California, there's a lot of Spanish speakers around here.
For sure.
And so there's all sorts of situations where it's helpful, where I can interact with somebody, I can converse with somebody without using a language translation app on my phone.
That sounds très bien to me.
You've been working on your Spanish. With over 16 million subscriptions sold, Babbel's 14 award-winning language courses are backed by a 20-day money-back guarantee. This year, get talking with Babbel.
Let's get more of you talking in a new language. Babbel is gifting our listeners 60% off subscriptions at babbel.com/doughboys. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/doughboys. Spelled BABBEL.com/doughboys. Babbel.com/doughboys.
Rules and restrictions may apply. Krispy Kreme, founded in 1937 in Charlotte, North Carolina by Vernon Rudolph. Vernon brought his donut recipe, Mitch, from New Orleans, down in Bayou.
What the fuck?
What's going on?
I don't know.
Brought his donut recipe from the Bayou. We reviewed Krispy Kreme twice. Mitch, what a duo this is with Matt Besser and Sam Sanders.
Wow.
They got a two-man improv group, right?
I would love that. I would see it.
And it is a Golden Plate Club member, and in fact, I believe it is the only 6-fork score from a guest. Sam Sanders gave it when we reviewed that in 2022.
Now, Sam Sanders is a smart man.
Yes.
But I was starting to think, is Sam, sorry, no offense, are you a dumbass? Because I'm not sure. I just like...
Hey, I said no offense. Are you a dumbass?
Are you stupid?
Did you wear glasses, but it was just for show?
I feel like Sam well, actually, this shows how smart of a man he is. I'm calling him a dumbass because he's clearly an intelligent man.
Yeah.
But did he talk us into Four Forks? I was like,
I was there. I was already there.
You were
I didn't
there?
get to do it.
Right.
A man, and we had him on once. We had a lovely time. A lot of nostalgia, a lot of affection for Krispy Kreme.
He really taught us into the regular Krispy Kreme donut.
Yeah.
When it's hot and fresh.
The hot glazed is a showstopper. It is fucking
good.
great.
It is good.
That is like the that is them delivering on the promise of the premise.
Maybe you're a genius. I don't know.
I don't know. Giving anything 6 forks.
Yeah.
That feels a little.
Yeah.
Thing Mitch came up with. So he had a lot of nostalgia. Mitch, I know you don't have a lot of nostalgia. You're from the town that founded Dunkin' Donuts.
Mm-hmm.
Jess, you and I both from SoCal.
Yeah, I'm not a nostalgia guy at all, really.
We didn't have, but you don't have nostalgia for Krispy Kreme.
I have zero nostalgia for Krispy Kreme.
We didn't have Krispy Kreme for basically my whole childhood. Like, I remember when it came to LA, it was like a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
So it was not I grew up more with like Winchell's and Yum Yum Donuts as far as chains go.
Yep.
And when I finally had it, a lot had been promised about this chain, and I thought it delivered, honestly. My first few Krispy Kreme experiences was like, oh wow, I do see what the hype is.
Yes, agreed. We used to get donuts from Yum Yum up the street from my house, and we would always get donuts after an earthquake. That's my biggest association
Wow.
with donuts and earthquakes. Is it was like, oh, it's a weird day. Well, we can go get donuts. And when Krispy Kreme came, it was like, this is a whole new style of donut.
Right.
The lightness of the donut. Like, I was used to eating like a dense, cakier donut covered in like pink frosting, or my mom's always been like a maple bar person.
Love a maple bar.
Love a maple bar, which those are lighter, more like a glaze. But yeah, I remember it being huge. And then I remember it being a big, when Teacher Appreciation Week, I was still in elementary school actually, so that's when it came. I remember like pushing a cart, like the milk cart around the classrooms with boxes of Krispy Kreme for the teachers. Like the PTA and the kids organized as like part of Teacher
Wow.
Appreciation Week. And it was like, this is a showstopper.
Yeah.
We're bringing in Krispy Kreme. That's how much we love you, teachers of Brookhaven. And I do also remember like early slumber parties where it was like, dude, rumor is Whitney's mom's going to get us Krispy Kreme in the morning. And we're like, that's crazy because there's only the one by the block of Orange and she's going to have to be in a drive-through line for like 4 hours.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
But
Those
she's
queues are
going to
crazy.
do it. And we were like, wow, that's amazing, Miss Kershaw. Thank you. Like, I remember it being really intense if some parent was going to go do that for you, especially on a weekend.
Yeah.
Like, sit in that
Sure,
line
Yeah.
and get you Krispy Kreme.
My Krispy Kreme, my first 2 experiences were both associated with movies. One was Fantasia 2000.
You said
And
this
the other,
earlier,
and
yeah.
the other was the Jennifer Lopez movie, The Cell.
Well, that's your 2 Krispy Kreme?
Yeah.
You were getting it like before or after?
I believe after both times.
Cool.
Like it was like saw a movie and it's like, yeah, let's get Krispy Kreme.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You saw 2 great movies and got Krispy Kreme.
I like both those movies.
You like The Cell?
I like The Cell. You don't like The
do
Cell?
people like The Cell?
The Cell's good. Casey, you seen The Cell?
I've never seen The Cell.
It's horror,
I don't
right?
think I've
Isn't it
seen
a
it.
horror movie kind of?
It's like it's basically having to go into the subconsciousness of a serial killer. And it's like this really, surreal sort of grotesque sort of environment. Who's the director? Tarsem Singh, is that correct? I think that's
Wow.
who it is. I'll look it up.
What a pull.
Sounds like me every week on Doughboys, by the way.
Tarsem Singh?
No! Going into the subconscious of a serial killer.
Oh.
Not Tarsem.
That's just like a way of describing your ethos.
By the way, I texted Sus and said we got pizza. I let him know that we got pizza.
Is he coming back?
I mean, probably. He probably will come back.
I mean, there's not that many slices left.
No, and I probably want one last slice.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking there's like two skinnies there that I was like, ooh, that might be just right.
Yeah,
Yeah, feel
skinny.
free.
Yeah,
Treat yourself.
grab a skinny.
It is Tars. It's sometimes just billed as Tarsem or Tarsem. But yeah, the Fall, the other really well known movie.
Amelia
It's on
brought in
Criterion
some
right now.
hot honey too. That's why this is the Mamba pizza here.
I like it. It's a good cheese pizza. I might have another slice.
We
You
put
gonna
the Fat Boy on my plate. Oh wait, did
Casey,
you guys get
Emma?
any pizza or
Yeah.
no?
You're good. You're good.
All right, here you go. Take the big boy. I'll take the little guy.
It's kind of like us. Well, you're tiny
I'm not a
compared to
little
me.
guy.
I know. You're.
I'm a big guy.
I know you are. I know you are.
I'm a little guy.
I know you're not a little guy. All right, it didn't work really. I was just.
No, I appreciate the effort. Okay, we're talking.
Thanks.
So this is the Krispy Kreme. The reason we're revisiting this is there is a topical peg here. Krispy Kreme, and they throw in the X, but you don't pronounce the X. Krispy Kreme Pop-tarts Doughnuts is the collaboration. So there's a collaboration between these two
How do you know
brands.
you don't pronounce the X?
That's how you do. You don't do it. It's like Spy X Family. You just say Spy Family. Hunter X Hunter. You just say Hunter Hunter. The X is silent.
The X is silent.
The X is silent. Yeah. You just say the two things on either side of the X.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, it's a thing. If there's something X something, if it's a collab,
Yeah.
like let's say there was a Doughboys off book crossover and we build it as Doughboys X off book.
Yeah, you wouldn't say that X.
You just say Doughboys off book.
What do we say? Could you say Doughboys times off book?
No, well you say that if you want to sound like a fucking idiot. Doughboys off book. You just say it like that. You don't pronounce the X.
It's true.
It's not a times. It's not an
damn
X.
it.
It's not vocalized.
I'm so sorry.
All right, fine. I didn't know that the X was. I didn't
Well,
know it
you
was
learned
silent.
it.
It's interesting
I
because
know.
it's essentially operating like an ampersand.
Sure.
But I guess what they're saying is sort of multiplying, which is that specifically the sum of their parts is going to create a better whole.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Is that the internalized branding of the X?
I think it must be. Mitch just putting his glasses back on.
I get what you're saying. I get it now.
The other thing that is Pop-Tarts also kind of back in the zeitgeist because of the Jerry Seinfeld movie Unfrosted. I really did not care for the movie Unfrosted.
You did not like Unfrosted.
I did not like it, yeah.
Yes.
It's a tough one.
It was a rough watch.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Because, sorry, with pizza in my mouth. But, if we were to say Doughboys and off book with the ampersand, it might be us sharing a 2-hour slot where we each take an hour.
Right.
The times is we're doing a musical about Taco Bell.
Yeah, we're putting our forces together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're combining our
Are you in Unfrosted? You're not in.
No.
Okay, all right. I didn't
But
know if you
such a
were.
good. I feel like a lot of people are for
Yeah,
like
it's a lot
1
of-
second.
I would have the
But
good
you
sense
can-
to not say that movie sucked in front of someone who was
Well,
in
I didn't
it.
know it. That's what I was checking.
Honestly, I was doing the same thing in my head about you. I was like, was Mitch in it?
we both were worried about that. That's very funny. We have friends in that movie.
The credits is, and this is a thing they've talked about on podcasts, right? The credits sequence of Unfrosted is wild because it's an original Jimmy Fallon, Meghan Trainor song. And it's one of those things where they're performing an original song, but then everyone is like doing a lip dub / dance to it for everyone from the cast.
Oh,
and so
right.
many of them are just like completely checked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame them.
Movie's
at
a rough
all
watch.
in that moment.
Okay, so Krispy Kreme Pop-tarts Donuts collab, beginning January 6th, Mitch. For a limited time, fans can enjoy this tasty smash-up
What a
featuring
date.
3 classic Pop-tarts flavors. So here they are. Pop-tarts Frosted Strawberry Donut, Pop-tarts Frosted Chocolatey Fudge Donut, and Pop-tarts Frosted Brown Sugar Cinnamon Donut. We got all 3 of these bad boys along with
January
some original
6th wasn't
glazed
that
donuts
fun
as a
this year.
baseline.
I just gotta say it. You know when your Christmas Day isn't like
Yeah.
it wasn't a good Christmas.
It's kind of a snooze.
It was kind of a snooze this
It's always
year.
a bummer.
Yeah.
So
Next year will be.
here's what I'll say off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
2 of these absolutely deliver on feeling like Pop-tarts. And I feel like the
Interesting.
Frosted Chocolatey Fudge Donut, to me,
I have
just seemed like a chocolate donut.
the exact same opinion.
Yeah.
That was going to be one of my headlines. Was
Yeah.
like, I'm not sure. Now, I don't think I've ever had the fudgy Pop-tart. But again, I don't feel like fudgy Pop-tart is any sort of. Everyone, if you say Pop-tart, is picturing either brown sugar cinnamon or strawberry.
Right.
I
Or some other fruit flavor.
100% agree.
And then
with
there's
this, yeah.
there's the outward flavors from there. It's
Yeah.
like, yes, they also have like a blue raz. They have a s'mores. They have a cookies and cream. They have seasonal ones. But the 2 iconic launches, I feel like, and maybe they launched with all 3, but I feel like that's not what people were eating.
My microphone flag fell off when
Oh,
Jess
well,
was
people
talking.
know that you're at Headgum.
You nailed
This
it.
whole time, he's been at Headgum. He didn't leave. There were no cuts. If we panned to a different camera, he was here the whole time.
He was
no
here the whole
cuts.
time.
No
There's
cuts.
hunks outside of this little room here working all day.
Why is everyone a hunk?
Everyone is a hunk here, including, it was very funny, one of the lady hunks, I guess we could call them. She came in while we were eating the donuts and basically it made me laugh so much.
Yeah.
She was like, we were all talking about how we didn't eat before, and she's like, you guys are going to be so sick. And she laughed. Do you remember that moment?
Yes, yeah.
My back was too sad to miss any moment of a hunk.
A lot of fun.
Any type of hunk, but
Yeah, you're correct that the chocolatey fudge, and I don't even know what flavor it is. I guess frosted chocolatey fudge is the flavor, is pretty deep in the Pop-tarts bench.
100%.
It's like, if they'd had a s'mores, even if the s'mores was like, this doesn't necessarily taste Pop-tarty, at least reminds me of a distinct Pop-tarts
Can I say
flavor.
I'm so happy they didn't have a s'mores because it just would have sucked, I feel like.
I don't think they could have executed a good s'mores.
I'll say this. It was the least Pop-tarts flavor, but the chocolate donut wasn't my least favorite of the donuts.
interesting.
Interesting. But you're also a chocolate guy.
I like chocolate, yes. The cinnamon sugar one, which was my favorite Pop-tart, the donut version didn't, it was just kind of like a nothing to me. It was like I don't think I like cinnamon, like the cinnamon cream, you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
Like I would rather it be a cinnamony donut. And I know that there is like kind of a cinnamon, that's like a liquid cinnamon in those Pop-tarts,
Yeah.
but it didn't really convey that either to me. It was the jelly, or the strawberry Pop-tart donut worked for me completely.
Yeah. I will say I didn't really care for the chocolatey fudge one versus the other 2. I thought it was okay. Jemmy really didn't like the chocolatey fudge one.
What do you mean?
She was really not into it.
Did you fed her the chocolatey fudge
Yeah,
one?
she's like, I don't want this.
Oh,
What
no.
are you doing?
Jemmy,
Okay, cut. We have to go to the hospital. Oh, just kidding.
She's still just
Just
knocking
kidding.
around this.
Yeah,
little-
she does not.
You can take that away. She's not gonna eat it.
She does not want that.
It's still there.
Okay, don't eat that later, Mitch, okay?
I won't.
So let me read the descriptions real quick. The frosted strawberry, unglazed shelled donut filled with strawberry filling, dipped in shortbread icing, topped with shortbread pieces, sugar sprinkles, strawberry filling drizzle, and a strawberry Pop-tarts bite. We'll get back to that. Maybe just on the cusp of Unga Pachka from the description, but we'll talk about how it comes together in
Sure.
execution. The frosted chocolatey fudge is original glazed donut dipped in chocolate icing, topped with brownie butter flavored buttercream, crushed frosted chocolate fudge Pop-tarts bites, and white all right, there's another word I'm going to say incorrectly.
Non-Perels?
Non-Perels, is that how you say it?
Mhm.
Non-Perels?
Yeah.
Non-Perels.
Apropos.
Like sprinkles, like circle sprinkles,
Non-Perels.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the little tiny
Apropos.
balls.
Yeah.
Apropos.
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 I think you said apropos.
Apropos. Pop-Tarts Frosted Brown Sugar Cinnamon Donut is cinnamon sugar donut topped with brown sugar cinnamon cream cheese flavored buttercream and a frosted cinnamon roll Pop-Tarts Bite Tart. So they all have like a little mini Pop-Tart that's on
Which
top
is,
of them.
I think it's fun.
I think it's a lot of fun. And I'll say this. If you're sharing the donuts, as we were, although we had enough where we could have each taken one full donut, but come on, what are we going to do? We're going to each eat 4 full donuts
Yes.
before recording?
And also Susser was here. That was the
Susser
other
was
issue.
here. That was the
Yeah.
other thing. So we were subdividing these. So there's really only enough for one bite per donut that has the Pop-Tart on it. But we did each get to try each of the mini Pop-Tarts. And I will say, if you have it in context with the donut bite, I thought it worked really well. On its own, it's kind of a little too potent.
Was there one for the chocolate donut?
No, but it's crushed.
No, there wasn't. Yeah, it was crushed
it's
onto
crushed.
it. Yeah,
Okay,
you're right.
okay,
You're right.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
I liked them. I thought they.
I
they
kind
were
of
a
liked
hit.
them too. I mean, I thought the mini Pop-Tarts were almost like, it almost didn't taste like anything. I honestly maybe tasted better than like a cold regular Pop-Tart because it was more
Yes, better than
jammy or whatever.
Yeah, cold. Yeah, the ratio of like pastry to filling was like pretty fun.
Yeah, and it wasn't like you know how like Pop-Tarts are like stiff and cardboardy.
Yeah.
These weren't that.
They
They
also
weren't.
kind of remind. They had almost like more of like a shortbread texture. They really operated as like mini cookies to me
Yes.
in a way that I thought was pretty fun. Like dunking just a few of those in a glass of milk. That's a good time.
I think it would be a great time.
Shortbread is a great way to characterize it. Yeah, and I will say, because, you know, you're eating a lot of donuts, you get a little mushy, a little chewy. It's nice to have a little bit of crunch on there.
Yeah.
It's like it was a great
Yeah,
textural
it was a
variance.
nice little crunch.
You
Yeah,
know, I
agree.
think I'm realizing because brown sugar cinnamon is my favorite Pop-Tart.
Yeah,
Wow.
mine too. That's my favorite Pop-Tart.
Yeah, until recently, I didn't like hot fruit.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I didn't like fruit pies
Yeah.
or anytime like fruit goo. Actually, when I was a kid, I used to say I only liked fruit in its original form. I didn't like fruit at the bottom of yogurt. I would just like I would eat fruit, but
Applesauce?
not
No.
like
So you're,
What can-
you're talking to two guys who probably liked fruit in goo form the most.
Yeah, more of a goo guy. What
Yeah.
was what converted you to the hot fruit?
just like adulthood and
Just got older,
maturity.
yeah.
I was just like I can't have like a kid-sized list of things I don't eat. I need to have it be an adult-sized list, which is like allergens, things
Sure.
you're trying to cut back on, and maybe I still have mushrooms on it, but I keep trying.
So what are
Oh,
you?
man.
Okay, so you're in a situation where you're going to get yourself a piece of pie.
Yeah.
What pies are you eyeing?
I would rather have like a key lime pie, a chocolate pie, a coconut cream pie.
These are all great pies.
I'd rather go that direction.
Yeah.
A pumpkin pie, a pecan pie.
Yeah, sure.
But now I'm like, yeah, I like a peach pie or an apple pie or a cherry pie.
You're maybe not ordering it, but if
No.
someone made one, you're
I
going
would
to have
enjoy
a piece.
Yeah.
And enjoy it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But to me, it's going to just like become a mixture of crispy dough, mushy dough, fruit filling. And I'm going to just sort of like, it's going to be just a slop.
Yeah.
But it's
Sure,
okay. It's like nice and flavorful and homey.
Have you like made peace with the hot fruit side of things? Like can you have us like a piece of warm apple pie a la mode or something like that? and enjoy
Yeah,
it?
yeah. It's
Okay.
like I think the heat was not the issue. It was like the
Texture, got it.
that was associated when fruit was hot. And so I think I just had to like get over that. But it's still not my favorite version of a dessert.
Sure, I get
And so
that.
as a in relation to that, I had no time for the fruit Pop-Tarts growing up and absolutely lived off of. So I was saying earlier, I'm not a breakfast person.
Yeah.
Never was. And it was just like a horrible Everest for my mom to climb as I was growing up that she insisted I like leave for school with having something. And I would just be like, no, like wouldn't eat anything, was really, really picky. And even as I got older, I'd be like, I'm actually just physically not hungry yet.
Right.
You've packed me a lunch. I promise you, I eat this bar at recess and I have this apple. Like, I'll eat in 1 more hour, but I'm just like not hungry. And she was just like, you have to have something. I can't
Yeah.
like send you out the door with nothing. And that basically meant she just gave me sugar because the only thing we could agree on was I would have Pop-tarts. So often I would be driven to school, obviously running late, with a brown sugar cinnamon Pop-tart and a Sunny D. So just like an absolute sugar. And one thing she did do for me, because she's the best, is she would also make me oven churros.
Oh, that's
because she's like, it's basically a waffle. I don't know. Just please eat something. Good God. And she'd bag me a very healthy lunch, so she knew like the food I was eating the rest of the day was like healthier. But I don't know why.
Your poor mom dealing with your little Tracy Flick ass.
I know, right? I just like, it's so funny to me now because I'm still the same way. Like, it takes me forever to get hungry. And when I was in middle school and high school, I'd be at school at like 7 or 6:55.
Yes.
I was just like,
Me too.
I can't eat yet. My stomach would feel like not awake yet.
That was
I talk about this. I still root for snow days. Well, I know that you guys don't experience those, but as an adult, I still root for snow days. As an adult, I still think homework is not good. I don't love homework.
No, it sucks.
And the day should start later especially for high schoolers.
I agree.
Like the day should, like a high schooler's day should start at like 10 a.m. basically. You should be going in at 10.
Yeah, but it's also like what is schooling actually for? It's for, it's for teaching obedience when you're working a job, right? So that's ultimately the goal. And so you're going to learn to force feed before you get into your shift.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
Or it's also a version of childcare. And if they're starting at 10, that's really hard for working parents.
Yeah, that's part of it
true,
too.
But that's the other thing too is that, but for high schoolers, I'm saying.
Yeah.
And high schoolers can go to school on their own for crying out loud, can't
they're
they?
going to be up to no good for a few hours when they're on attendance.
That's what
Can I
it's
tell
all
you?
about.
Every third Wednesday, my high school had late start day where we started at 9:30 for zero period and 10:30 for regular. And one of those late start mornings, you know what I did with that time?
What's that?
Made out with my boyfriend.
Hell yeah.
Whoa, shit.
It's cool as hell.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, yeah, I know.
So, you never know what 9:15 is going to bring out in a teenager.
Same thing for us, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I absolutely love pitching these types of jokes in front of the two of you. I'm just making you like, same. Tongues and everything.
7:45 was I think the late bell at my high school was 7:45 a.m. at North Quincy High School.
Was because I had a zero period, but it was for music. Which imagine was zero. We started super fucking early.
Extra period early. So 6:55 is when I had to be at school.
That's remember it was before 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was like
before 7
yeah, it was
a.m.
so fucking early. It was and I had like the worst sleep problem, so I'd always just be like half asleep going into school.
Were you a late nighter at this point when you were?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
this was before. Yeah.
7:30 was our first spell. But to be
way too
at school
fucking early
before 7 is insane.
Yeah, I mean it was voluntary to do that. You were
band
taking,
or something,
or like freshman year. Mine was choir, and then they offered a few.
Choir. There's a choir class, a makeout class.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they offered like a few academic ones every year because they were also for kids who like wanted to take more classes. So sophomore year took Spanish too. And junior year, this was a weird one. They never offered it again. They offered honors English as zero period to help kids with like impacted schedules.
Oh, wow.
Tracy Flicks. And that was a mistake. Anything like too academic that early, you were just like not really functioning. And then my absolute favorite was my senior year. I still had to do one more PE credit.
Yeah.
So I took zero period weightlifting. And it ruled.
Wow.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it ruled. It was like...
Hey, that's why your Cape Codders
are
looking so good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coach Conley. It was the best. But it meant only my senior year did I have my license. And I got it a month late, so I was in like a back parking lot, like a new one. And it was right next to the track. And we started every weightlifting class with a quarter mile. And then on Fridays, we ran the mile. But all you had to do was be there by the time your name was called, and that counted as on time. And that would actually be more at like 7:05 or 7:02 because they gave us like changing time.
Oh, that's nice.
So I knew I had like a couple extra precious minutes, and I parked. I would go to school in my gym clothes with my school clothes ready to change into later. Yeah. I parked right by the track and hopped the fence. And as long as I was there by McKenna, which I almost always was, and he would alternate. He'd go from A's and then sometimes he'd go from Z's, but M always in the middle, baby.
Yeah. You're sitting
right
pretty.
in the middle.
Yeah, smack dab.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get the W, so I was always at the end. I don't remember any teacher ever going reverse alphabetical order, so I was always waiting.
Yeah.
M's right. Nice and mediocre, the M. That's where
right.
I am.
You know, an M, And a W, it's upside down.
Boy,
Wow,
Mitch,
nice.
this you guys.
We got like a Mario Wario sort of relationship.
Yeah.
It's like,
You and
yeah,
me?
yeah, we do.
Let me guess who you think Wario is.
Well, and as the hottest, buffest person, I'll be the Luigi.
I guess Luigi's become the thirstiest character. I mean, like,
Well, this started, but even
Mario's
before.
like trad. He's like tradition. He's like too. He's like too traditional.
Yeah, I
Mario.
mean, it's like saying your favorite Star Wars character is Luke Skywalker. It's just kind of like that's like the
might be mine.
I know, hey, it might be mine, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying like it's the default option. I feel like the people are like the other characters are a little bit more colorful, have a little bit more distinct. But I think even before Luigi Mangione, there was the Luigi back in Luigi Tennis. They had like the visible outline of his hog. You remember? And
That's
then people
right, yeah.
measured that he had like a 4.5-inch flaccid hog. He had a
Look
fucking hanger.
just like Florida.
Yeah.
Surprised he could even hit his backhand with a Tallahassee like that.
So we did have Pop-Tarts as a kid. A similar sort of thing in my house. I was not like a necessarily the pickiest of eaters, but I did like prefer garbage, and I think my parents were just happy for me to be eating anything.
So
So, like-
you were having a Pop-Tart before your 6 a.m. fucking
No.
first bell or whatever.
No,
the
by
fuck
then I
your
was
California schools did.
No, by then my dad was making me like a little. This like again, just like parents going above and beyond. My dad had to fucking go to, like he had to go to community college or a public university and teach a class, but he was like making me breakfast beforehand for school. But he would make me like
Your
a little
dad-
egg sandwich.
Didn't your
That's
dad?
nice.
Didn't
Yeah.
your dad teach clowning 101? Fucking clown ass dad.
How dare you? Taught chemistry, Mitch.
Fucking pi plus face equals laughs. It's not even chemistry.
Mitch, you take those glasses off. You dishonor them.
I don't deserve them.
My dad every day would go to work. He'd put on his big shoes and get in his tiny car, go make money for his family.
He carpooled with his
Yeah, he picked up a few of them.
15 in a car.
So, but we did have Pop-Tarts. It was usually not breakfast. It was usually just like a snack. It was usually just like
Okay.
a treat, more of a sweet treat. Like it'd be there with the Chippehoys. But I was a big frosted strawberry guy. That was
Okay.
like I did like that hot fruit, and I did like that frosting layer. A lot of times I would eat them cold out of the bag. But toasted. There's no problem with that.
They're cool because they're hot.
Yeah, exactly. My favorite here, Mitch. I think they were all pretty decent. I like the chocolatey one the least, and I thought it was the least Pop-Tarty. I thought the frosted strawberry donut was just a really good execution.
It was good.
I thought it really
was good.
and it really tasted like a Pop-Tart in donut form.
I agree. I wanted to like brown sugar the best, but I do agree that the strawberry is the best promise of the premise delivered. And also, the only thing I would take away from it
That's good.
is that top jam drizzle.
Yeah.
And I think we also lost a lot in the cutting, but I was like, you can let the jam just sing on the inside. Like, I think the stickiness wasn't needed,
Yes,
but those like shortcake crumbles, that was really, really nice.
Shortcake crumbles were great. The drizzle on the top. This is the first off. So they're just kind of Peter Northing some like strawberry icing over the top of it. But the issue is that to me is toaster strudel.
Yeah.
That's not Pop-Tart. Like the drizzle
Yes,
is the
I agree with
toaster
that.
strudel.
Yeah,
And they were
What's it
Peter
doing there?
Northing it. They were Mike Mitchelling it. If anything, it was very. They were smart. They weren't like they were. It was just a little bit of stuff.
Yes,
it wasn't,
right.
It wasn't drenched.
It
No.
wasn't a lot, but it was kind of in that
Speaking
sort of,
which,
you know,
one of them didn't have a,
kind of ropey.
for lack of a better word, one jelly donut did not have a full load inside of it. It was.
That's true.
It was.
That is the only way to describe it. One of them sort of lacked, I would say, a full load.
You all saw it.
We
There
saw
was-
it. I had to tell you which quarter had any goo worth its
Yes.
goo. Yeah.
I think I started crying and I said, "Which one has goo?" And you calmed me down
And
quickly.
I said, hey, listen, someone spent $100s on this. My day, we only have Pop-Tarts or Krispy Kreme.
I think they all should have been filled. Because to me, that's a Pop-Tart.
That's what a Pop-Tart is.
They
That's-
all should have been
agree.
filled donuts. And there was
I agree with
only
that.
one of these was filled. I think if the frosted brown sugar cinnamon one has some sort of filling in there, then it's like, that's a little bit more Pop-Tarty. That said, it still was a delightful donut. I thought
I
that
think
was really
it
yummy.
needed, if it was filled and then less reliance on such a thick slab of cream cheese buttercream, which is like, cream cheese is not a flavor profile associated with not in my Pop-Tart.
No.
And so
And also more kind of, I mean, I know it's, but it reminds you more of a toaster strudel.
yes, because that
Yeah.
drizzle had a cream cheesy taste to it.
Yes, yeah. And some of them, I think, even had cream cheese, like cream cheese and fruit or whatever, yeah.
It almost makes you wonder with how these sort of branding things come together, if they were like 90% of the way towards a deal with toaster strudel, and then they were like, well, that fell apart. All right, let's see if we can get Pop-Tarts, and they didn't want to redo their recipes.
Yeah.
Is
I don't know.
does toaster strudel have the might to elicit a collab like that?
It does not have the
That's a
same
good question.
cachet, but if they had Dunkin' Donuts I just said it aloud. They said Dunkin' Donuts
Well.
toaster strudel.
Fucking X is silent, eh? And
Does Dunkin' do a Girl Scout cookie?
ooh, I think they maybe do, yes.
That's
Yeah.
a pretty good collab.
Yeah.
I also think in retrospect, what we're losing, and it's not maple, it's brown sugar, but it's that different sweetness that a brown sugar has. That has like a toastiness to it, a molasses-like taste versus pure sugar.
Yeah.
I don't think I was getting that flavor note, and that is what is so fun to me about the brown goo in the brown.
Yes.
It has like molassesy sweetening. It's brown sugar has a different sweetness to it, and I wasn't getting that as much. I think cinnamon I was getting, but I
Right.
wasn't really getting brown sugar. I was just getting cinnamon and sugar.
Again, kind of more of a churro donut.
It really tasted like a churro donut.
But it was good. But I thought it was delightful.
Dunkin' Donuts does have the Girl Scout cookie, if they did Girl Scout cookie coffees, it looks like.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So the glazed donuts we also got, they were not warm, but they're still a very solid glazed donut,
Yeah.
and nice to have as a little palate cleanser / baseline. The other thing we got is the glazed donut coffee.
This is horrifying.
Yeah, this is a big whiff. It is so sweet. I have had this for it's sitting in my Yeti mug, and I've had this for whatever this was probably 2 hours ago when this order arrived at this point, and I've drinking maybe like a quarter of this. It is just so potent. It is so sugary, and it's a thing you don't need when you're eating a bunch of donuts. I'd
No.
rather just have a black coffee versus something that. What they say is the flavoring is vanilla, but it is just such I think a strong amount of vanilla in order to be a simulacrum in liquid form of the glazed donut,
Yeah.
and it's just over the top.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's really sweet.
Way too sweet.
I normally drink my coffee black, so anything that I'm having in it is like a bump up, but this was like, took my breath away.
How do you make your coffee? You got like a drip maker? What do you do?
I do pour over on essentially a Chemex, but not a Chemex.
Yeah.
That has like a mesh reusable instead of using paper filters.
I've switched to a French press system in recent years, and I do like the French press, having a lot of success.
Also,
You know my thing, you know.
what? You tell me.
I
You
every
tell me.
morning I do a French press. I told the wife.
I like French press.
Duh.
Oh, that's a good joke.
Fuck.
Sorry I interrupted it. That's great. I thought you were going to say you call over your French neighbor and see how many reps you can do. Come here, Marcel. Morgan doesn't drink coffee, so I'm always only making it for just me, too.
Yeah, sure.
And recently had folks in my house in the morning, and I was like, oh, gosh, this makes me like want to have a larger way to make coffee. But I do French press in the summer. I have like a big French press that I make cold brew in.
Oh, that's
and it
fun.
just lives in the fridge, and it's like a pitcher.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you cold coffee ever? You were disappointed that this wasn't hot when it came.
I wanted this sumbitch to be hot, and
I wanted
I
mine
was
hot,
disappointed
too,
that I was
yeah.
disappointed that it was cold. They all came iced. Maybe that's just how they deliver them. I do hot coffee. My issue with cold brew is, I don't know if this is psychosomatic. I feel it's so
yourself?
strong. It's
Oh,
so,
sorry.
I don't shit myself.
Need a golden corral in an instant.
Yeah. No, it's less intestinal distress and more just like I feel like I can see through time. Like I feel like it's like so the caffeine really hits me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, you know what, I do a single coffee bean in the morning. Nope.
Right.
That's it. That's all I do. That's all, and that keeps me going through the day, basically.
And do that before or after your French press?
It's right after my French
Okay,
press.
got it.
Yeah.
So you finish all your reps.
Yeah. And then
Soul of the beans,
I say
yeah.
when I do it. Is that French for Oh, wait. I have something in my nose. No one look at me.
Okay. Don't look at Mitch.
Hey,
gonna stay-
don't look at him.
Don't look at Mitch.
Don't look at him.
Don't look at Mitch.
I honestly think that was maybe, this is disgusting, but I think it might have been sugar from the donut. That
like
was
in your nostril.
I think there was
You're in the line of cinnamon
I think
sugar.
there was a thing of sugar in my nostril.
Wow.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough look, my guy.
Tough. That was tough.
That one's gonna be hard to come back from.
Mitch, you and I both made some crazy New Year's resolutions that you're just not capable of keeping over the years.
100%, yeah.
You know, like I'm just like I'm gonna work out every single day.
Yeah.
Or I'm just gonna eat healthy the entire year. Mitch, the solid stick deodorant, the cream tube deodorant, you know, you can use these on your pits, but you can use them all over your body. And I you know, going in, I wasn't sure how Mando was going to work. I've used all sorts of hygiene products, all sorts of deodorants, all sorts of scents over the years. And using them now, so many unexpected benefits, so many nice surprises.
Wise, you know, I've never used deodorant wipes before.
Yeah.
And I was shocked to see how well they work.
And it's easy to incorporate into your daily routine. The whole body deodorant is just safe to use anywhere on your body. Pits, balls, thigh folds, and I got a lot of them, belly buttons, butt cracks, and feet.
I might just stick a deodorant wipe right in my belly button and let it stay there the whole day.
It was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. Clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. And hey, there's some options here. You got the solid deodorant stick that I mentioned. This is formulated and powered by mandelic acid to stop odor before it starts. And the spray deodorant, aluminum-free and ideal for hard-to-reach places.
Here's the one issue with the solid deodorant stick is that it may cause a Mandelic effect.
That's a whole thing where you forget, like you remember putting on deodorant, but you didn't actually put on deodorant.
But you smell so good. That's why you forget. All products are baking soda free and paraben free. Choose from a variety of fresh scents like bourbon leather, clover woods, Mount Fuji, or Pro Sport. Wow.
Clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone? That's right. 12 hours after a shower, the average man's Grundle odor was a 5 out of 10. With Mando, the average Grundle odor level is a 0 out of 10.
Wow.
Our
Grundles aren't easy to handle, Wags.
The Grundles are off the scale. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping.
As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code Doughboys. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you use code Doughboys at shopmando.com.
SHOPMANDO.com. Use code Doughboys to support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. Let's get to our final thoughts on the Krispy Kreme Pop-tarts collab. So, Jess, you've done the show, veteran of the show. You know how this works. We'll each go around, give our closing argument, and end by giving it a fork score from 0 to 5. And we can talk about it for Krispy Kreme in totality, not just this experience. Jess, you're a guest. We'll begin with you.
I still thought the quality of donut across the board was really, really high.
Yes.
I still think that I liked the mini Pop-tarts a lot. I agree that the strawberry was the strongest execution of the Silent X, of really bringing two things together. That one felt most like a Pop-tart donut. None of them were a bad bite. I don't particularly find myself drawn to a fudgy donut that like is, you know, using brownie batter frosting. Like that's already so off in another additional dessert like zone.
Concur.
That I don't really need that one, but I thought the brown sugar very much like a churro donut. I still enjoyed the flavor profile. Thing they could have done a little bit more. Everything was still very high quality, but I think for the slight fall off of like what could be perfect execution on what is a pretty promising collab, I gotta go 4 forks.
4 forks. Wow.
Still high score.
Yeah, very good score. Still in Golden Plate Club.
I was more of a toaster strudel. Actually, you can go first.
Okay.
Oh, kind of a health nut over here. Toaster strudel. Frosting optional. Okay.
I got to get my secondary screen out here. You know, everyone these days is talking about their 2-screen experiences, but this 2-screen experience will actually enhance the podcast because I don't have my text messages, my iMessage on my iPad, but I do have it on my phone, which I've gotten here. Because since the Commissioner, Evan Susser, was present and he was such a factor in us doing this chain and crafting this order and us ultimately landing on pizza, I believe that it is only appropriate to allow him to have his say here.
Wow.
Susser's thoughts. The coffee was a bust. He also got the same thing, the glazed donut coffee. But come on, Krispy Kreme is good. 4 forks.
Wow.
Who am I to disagree with the commissioner himself? I came in thinking Krispy Kreme was a 4-fork chain. That was my score last time we reviewed it. And I stand by this. I think this was a 4-fork experience. I think this absolutely delivered on the Pop-tarts theming. I think that 2 of the 3 of them were hits. I think that one of them was great. And I think I agree with Jess that the overall quality of the donut is high. This is a 4-fork chain. I don't go to Krispy Kreme for coffee. This is a donut chain.
Yeah.
And this is a fucking donut chain. So
Oh,
in
yeah.
terms of what it's trying to accomplish, it's trying to have great donuts. And I think it succeeds. 4 forks.
Yeah. I would never ding it for the coffee.
No.
Because I looked at that menu and they have black coffee I could have ordered.
Yeah, I would have just gotten that. But also, I'll probably just go to like a Starbucks or a Coffee Bean and get a coffee instead.
Don't you like it when Sus is like, hey, I want stuff, I'm coming in, and then he comes in, he's also kind of in a bad mood. It's happened like multiple times where you're
Yes,
like, what
yeah.
are you mad about? What you're coming here and taking food. Why you seem upset? He was
Did you think he was in a bad mood?
Well, I was texting to him. He's like, you want to get something for lunch before
Oh.
he mentioned the pizza. He wanted lunch of some sort.
Yeah.
And then he messaged me and was like, you want to do lunch? And I was like, what do you want to do? And he didn't answer. So I went and showered and I came back and it was like 20 to 30 minutes later.
Showered.
Things happen.
Some stuff went down the drain. Let's just say that.
There might be a few clogs in those firefighters' hoses, as we've said. It goes out of my shower into the fire hose, is what? I don't know. But,
Oh my gosh.
Susser, I got out and I was like, what do you want to do? Because he was like, it's too late now. And I was like, you seem mad. And he was like, I'm pissed. And I was like, okay, he seems mad. But he was the one he wanted pizza. He wanted donuts.
Yeah.
We gave him half of that. And he can come and get the pizza if he wants it. Anyways, Sus is right.
Yeah, you can come and get 3 slices of cold pizza.
If he wants it.
You think that's below him?
I would not be surprised if he showed up and walked out with that box.
Pop-tarts I did enjoy, and the cinnamon sugar ones or the cinnamon flavored ones were my favorite when I was younger. I was more of a health nut. I was more of a toaster strudel guy, and I liked warm fruit, but I got what you're saying. You know when you get like a piece of like peach or apple that's like too hot, you know what I mean? And you're like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's to me that was Boy Scouts when they'd make like cobbler in a Dutch oven. It's like
Yeah.
always be like super fucking hot, and I'm just
Yeah.
a fat little boy wanting to eat it right away and burning my mouth.
Yeah.
And it's very like I like a cobbler, but it has to be cooked to like the perfect texture. If you get like a hot, solid piece of fruit, that is pretty gross.
It can
I
be
agree
like
with you.
I
molten
agree.
lava and hurt, you know? Just,
Yeah.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
Hot tomato too is like the word. Like,
Oh,
like
yeah.
any sort of hot squash. If it's too hot,
Yeah.
it can really sort of.
Because also
scald you.
sometimes it's hiding hot water in there.
Yeah, that high
You-
water content.
You
Yeah.
bite down.
Oh yeah.
Ouchie.
Ouchie mouchy.
Ouchie mouthy.
Ouchie mouthy.
Ouchie mouthy.
Ouchie mouthy.
Look, there was no ouchie mouthies today.
No.
I like a nice roasted tomato though. Sometimes.
You, no, hey, I got nothing against a hot tomato. I'm just saying that like you get that thing, it can be scalding if you bite into it and that sumbitch is too hot.
I gotta tell you, I'm always pushing the limit of food temp.
Really?
Yeah, I'm always diving in impatiently.
Are you doing that
100%.
with your coffee too? Because that was the thing
Oh,
I had to. Yeah. So because I have black coffee, and so there's nothing to cool it down. So it's like this has just got to sit for a few minutes before.
Well,
I
I will say the pour over.
Yeah.
And I do my gooseneck set at 207, which is supposed to be like best for bean
Okay.
health,
Yeah.
and that it makes it already not that hot.
Interesting.
Just if you're interested,
Wow.
I'm rarely having a hot. It's warm enough, and I put it immediately into an insulated mug, so it stays pretty hot. But it's never burning my mouth when I have it at home. But when I forget and I go into the wild, hot black coffee. I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
whew, asking for trouble.
Hot coffee is too hot, and then apples have gotten too big. Those are my 2 big takes.
Wait, what?
Apples have gotten too big. Go to
Yeah.
the grocery store, the apples are too fucking big.
Does not sound like something I thought you would complain about.
All right.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Have you seen how big these apples are?
They're too big.
I don't know.
No, I want it to be a snack. I don't know. What do I got?
It's
Got
a
all day
meal.
to eat this fucking thing.
Yeah, it's a meal.
I don't know.
Well, you got an issue with a big apple? A tiny apple sucks, though. You don't want a tiny apple.
I don't mind a tiny apple.
All
right.
I'd rather have a regular size apple, but I think there's just too much like genetic manipulation and chemical all these fucking pesticides and shit that have gotten these things so fucking big.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't need this anymore.
All right.
All right.
Fair enough.
All right.
I don't need an apple the size of a grapefruit. I want an apple the size of an apple. Give me a
Where the hell
reasonably
are you
sized
buying
apple.
your apples? Where are these grape? I
Go to the
believe
fucking
you. I believe
grocery
you. I believe
store.
you. I believe you. I believe you.
Especially if you're buying a non-organic, if you're just buying like these chemically fattened things, they're fucking huge.
Hey, we're all chemically fattened in some way.
That's true, Mitch.
You and I especially from the last 10 years.
We got the Bane chemical, but it's just to make you fatter.
And not strong.
Yeah.
It's tricky with me with Krispy Kreme. First of all, Krispy Kreme, that's nasty.
You don't like the name? I think the name's fun.
The name is it's cream, but it's crispy.
I think it's fun.
That's nasty.
It's
It's nasty. Nick?
All right. Sounds like someone showered too recently.
I disagree.
Crispy
I
cream
disagree
that's
that
crispy?
I disagree that's nasty. I don't think it's nasty. I think it's a good name.
I mean, obviously
If
one.
it was crusty cream,
Ooh,
that would be disgusting.
all
That
right.
would be gross.
That's really
Krusty
bad.
Kreme is nasty.
Krispy Kreme is very close to Krusty Kreme.
It's not that close.
I mean, it's not hard for you to go with your brain. You're like, oh, the donut is crispy and the cream is creamy.
yeah.
God damn it.
Sorry.
I didn't have my glasses on.
No, I love to be on your side, Mitch. But yes, you can obviously think of it as gross, but you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I think this is a chain that's close to your guys' heart, and
it's not
I
necessarily.
almost want to give it. I almost want to give it
Mitch,
3.99 forks, but I'm going to be a little stinker. Why would I be a little stinker
Yeah.
like that? You guys love it. I love that you guys love it, and I do think that the glazed, the fresh hot glazed are
so fucking
they're
good.
So good.
They're good.
That's like a signature item.
Yeah. It's like a McDonald's French fry. You're like, yeah, you do this thing incredibly well.
Right.
Yeah, and you know what? For that, but I mean, the coffee was bad.
The
the
coffee's
jelly
bad.
donut was good. Sadly, the cinnamon sugar one should have been. They should have just made that one different.
Yeah.
And the chocolate one meant nothing to us, but I thought it tasted okay.
Like, imagine a filled donut, a cinnamon filling with just like a brown butter glaze, like
Ooh, that sounds delightful.
really like a lighter top.
Yeah.
Too much frosting reliance on flavor profile there, but yeah.
Agree.
I thought that these donuts were pretty good, though. I
They
can't
were.
deny
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, they were
4
good.
forks.
Yeah.
Wow, 4 forks. Staying in the Golden Plate Club.
Wow, it's the
As
4
Mitch's-
fork chime.
As Mitch's phone goes
That's
off.
a new thing. If something gets 4 forks,
When it's knocking on the door of the Golden Plate Club, and the door's going.
Was that your Ring camera? What is that?
that is, you got very mad at me for this because my home was
I
almost
didn't get
robbed.
that. I didn't get that mad at you. I just
And
was
so
like,
I put on alerts for any
I said
time.
you're maybe being paranoid.
And it is just my neighbors are walking by and it
Okay,
just
great.
caught them in the corner. of
Okay,
the-
what are they up to?
What are their names and their addresses? Which one's the French one that you press?
Well, he of course is a mime, and
Oh,
he was
sure.
he was
Oh,
he was,
yeah, of course. Noble
he was
French
walking
profession.
he was walking his dog.
Got it.
got it.
Oh yeah, so he was just walking by.
But-
Whoa,
oh.
you know, yeah.
And he hit a windstorm.
Which with these damn Santa Anna
Yeah, I
winds,
know. It's dangerous. It's
I
real
love
risk out there.
Santa, but I don't know who this Anna is. But together, they're no good. You didn't give me anything
Santa should
on
get
this.
back with Mrs. Claus. Santa's got to get away from Anna. Get back with Mrs. Claus.
Since he's been with Anna, things have been fucking
I
gone
agree.
sideways. 4 forks, but Wags, guess what?
What?
It's a Doughboys double review. We're gonna review this pizza.
I think we just got to come up with something other than double review because Doughboys Double already exists. As
Oh,
a
for
piece of
fuck's
branding.
sake!
It's just going to confuse the audience because Doughboys Double. Wait, this is a Patreon episode review. Like,
They're gonna
no,
eat it up. They like the show.
I just think it was. We just need.
we were not in scroll reading and.
I think we need to come up with a new name for. I'm
But
fine
like
with doing a second
stacked
review.
because you stacked your reviews.
I like that.
A Doughboy stacker. How's that? We got a Doughboy stack
We
review.
got a Doughboys stacker. Okay, great.
We'll workshop this. I'm just
Do you
gonna
need
say.
it to be alliterative? Is that what's bumping you?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Think
Doughboys
on it.
Double Decker?
Fuck.
I know it still has double
Yeah,
in
it
there.
still has
That's
double.
pretty
It's
good,
pretty
though.
good.
Doughboys double decker's pretty damn
Doughboys
good.
Double Decker's pretty good. How about Doughboys Upper Decker?
That's pretty good too.
Okay. All right, so Doughboys Upper
Sorry,
Decker.
that's when you put a big poop, right? In,
that is.
in the water tank.
In the top tank of the
Water
toilet, yeah.
tank.
Just need to make sure I remembered.
I'm gonna give. I texted Amelia, and I figured out this mystery of this burrata.
Yeah.
This isn't minus burrata. She added burrata to this pizza. It was left off accidentally.
Wow.
Which look. I'm still giving the Lasorted, who's helping out the firefighters. I'm giving him 4 forks.
I think there's a 4-forker. Yeah, that's
This
a great,
is- this-
great
this
piece
was-
of pizza.
this
I
was,
only had the
this
cheese,
is
but I
very
really
good.
enjoyed it.
Uh-huh.
And Mitch, are you going to keep that cheese just sitting there?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I am.
All right. Okay.
Mitch likes to leave his slices of pizza out for
Yeah,
a
this
few
is a
hours
new
before he
thing
eats
I'm
them.
learning.
Take a little sausage slice. There's not much sausage on it.
I might have one in a second. But right now, that was our review of the.
Wait, what are you gonna give it? What are you gonna give Lasorted?
I just gave it four
you
forks.
did?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
4 forks.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I wish I had sampled more of the menu, but
Sure.
my experience, 4 fork.
Yeah, that's a
it was
4
4-fork
cheese.
pizza. Yeah.
All right, that was our review of Lasorted's and Krispy Kreme Pop-tarts Donuts collab. It's time for a segment, a new segment. This was teased last week, Mitch. I've got some scenarios where you might be thirsty, and Mitch
boy.
and Jess must respond with their ideal
Oh my
drinks.
God.
Okay.
It's the debut of our new segment, Thirst Responders.
Thirst responders.
Hit it, Emma.
Jesus Christ.
Thirst responder, why don't you come drink a beverage? You've been up watching Severance, season 2 is out now. Oh, you're a parched one, I know which diet you follow. Those drinks that you swallow, ooh, can thirst you somehow. Thirst responder. Okay, so this is a series of open-ended questions.
Wow,
I'll-
really good.
Thank you. I'll give you the
Why
setup.
did you sing like Cartman again? Emma texted her firefighter friend.
Yeah.
Amelia did.
Oh, sorry. Amelia
Yeah.
texted her firefighter friend.
Yeah.
About thirst responders, and it does sound like a good look. If you have any extra beverages, you got water, donate them to the first responders. I think that's a nice move to do. But it sounds like he was like, "Are you going to bring me Gator?" He was like asking her if she was going to bring her Gatorades. Right? It was basically
Yeah.
what she asked.
And no, that's not what we're doing. Instead, what we have for thirst
instead, we're
responders
playing a dumb game.
is a
It's not
series
helpful to anyone.
a series of open-ended questions. So Mitch, Jess,
Okay.
I'll give you the setup telling you why you're thirsty in this particular scenario,
Okay.
and you tell me in this set of circumstances, in this hypothetical, what your dream beverage would be.
Great.
Do you understand?
I love this game.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
This is great.
Okay, here we go. First one.
Mhm.
It's New Year's Day,
Okay.
and you partied way too hard last night.
Hell
fuck.
yeah. Hell
You
yeah.
wake up with a horrible hangover,
Oh.
so bad you resolve to never drink again. Thankfully, you planned ahead, you look inside your fridge, and last night you bought the perfect beverage for this eventuality. What do you got in there?
An ice cold Gatorade Glacier Freeze.
I was going to say
Great answer.
Gatorade lemon lime.
That's a good one too.
Lemon lime's a good one, yeah. That's salt, just the default flavor. Sometimes that's
Just
exactly
the
what you need.
original. And actually, like, I've been getting into stuff and sometimes not being ice cold.
Oh, wow.
So I think mine would be slightly above room temp.
Wow.
Yeah, because I have found, like, in trying to maintain, like, vocal health,
Yeah.
that super cold liquids are, like, hard on your...
Sure.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
a shock. And so I've now developed the taste for a room temp water. And I realize that I can consume it so much faster. There's no risk of brain freeze. So if I already have a pounding headache from rage caging too
Yeah.
hard, I think I'm going to go for like a slightly just above room temp. It's sat out on the counter, but it has a slight chill to it from being in the cool night air. But that means I can chug it more effectively because I want to get that drink. I want to get
Yeah.
that whole thing in me as fast as possible with no headache.
What you were saying, so that this is a thing I both learned when I took a VO class, and then I also heard it from the lead singer of Queensryche. The idea that you have a hot beverage and that's actually better for the pipes.
Yeah, hot or really room temp. Like drinking like room temp water is better. If you're like feeling a little like hoarse or anything like that.
Right.
Sure.
So not like necessarily warm, but just not that cold that's going to shock your cords.
Yeah, to avoid the ice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I've woken up,
Mm-hmm.
open up some cat food. Get in my Wally, I say to the pet cat food. and then
Perfect.
I open the fridge. I have a little a beverage drawer that I keep at like close to freezing,
Yeah.
basically. For me, I know it's probably better for my vocal cords, but with a bad hangover, especially, I need the coldest, closest thing to
Oh, yeah.
frozen that is still liquid.
My advice
I'm
is
with
not
you.
from a health point. It's from like I've now developed the taste for that.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Where
yeah.
now like like not that cold is actually can become super refreshing because I'm like, oh great, I can chug this whole thing.
Very
Yeah,
European.
yeah.
I feel like they don't like ice over there.
They
That's what I've
don't.
heard,
Yeah.
I think Glacier Freeze also for me is like the perfect. I love the fierce strawberry. I've
Yeah.
told you this before, but Glacier Freeze is like the perfect, almost like not on the spectrum. It's kind of right in the. It's almost like a nothing, and not. It's a great flavor, but it's like a middle nothing flavor. You know what I mean? It's like not super sweet. They're all sweet, I guess, but it's not super sweet, and it's not like like lemon lime. I like, but I'm like, would that be too like tart or like too? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
It's kind of a Weiger flavor, totally neutral, just like a beige flavor.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. That's what I. That's
I
what
had-
I mean, I love it.
I got really into the strawberry the strawberry Gator Light Zero.
Yeah.
But that's a one you don't encounter very often. So when I run across it in like a 7-Eleven or something, I'll
Isn't
grab
it like
that.
strawberry kiwi or something? Or is it
It's a strawberry kiwi Gator Light Zero. And I do
like
like the
those
Gator
too.
Lights. All right, next up. Next scenario. These pretzels are making you thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
While watching the Seinfeld episode where Kramer gets a line, "These pretzels are making me thirsty," in a Woody Allen movie, two cool dudes, you realize you've been idly snacking on pretzels yourself, and they've been making you thirsty
Oh my
while you've been
God.
watching. Luckily, within reach, you have a nice beverage that will both wet your whistle and cut the salt. What is it?
Now I do like my seltzer waters very, very cold.
Yeah.
So in that situation, I'm going with a very cold LaCroix Pure.
Oh, I like the LaCroix Pure is unflavored.
Yep.
Yeah, good one.
This is hard for me because immediately I'm like, you say this, and I just want a tap Bud Light,
Ooh.
like a nice cold.
That is,
tap
and Mitch,
Bud
with some
Light.
pretzels, that's a
That's
lot
nice.
of fun.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm at the house, right? This is the issue. Is that would I leave the house and go to a bar and watch the episode on the bar
This is
screen?
a dream scenario. I think it's already
Is it
there.
Yeah, I
dream
think so.
scenario?
Yeah.
It's dream
Okay.
scenario?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's Dream Logic.
All right, then I would leave and watch the rest of the episode at a bar and have an ice cold draft beer.
Ooh, that's nice.
It's just the saltiness that like I don't even like crave beer that much. I drink cider way more than beer, but the two scenarios is like on a hot summer day, I always want like a draft of cold beer, and then with like salty pretzels. That's the other thing that gets me.
Mitch, I think in this scenario, you just happen to be watching Seinfeld in syndication at a bar already,
I love
and the
it.
pretzels are there on the bar, and that's your bar
Jesus,
snack.
What
and
the
then
hell
you're
am I going through that I'm watching on a weekday? watching a syndicated Seinfeld at the bar.
Oh, you're there amongst a bunch of friends.
There you go. They're all
All
there.
right, hey,
Yeah.
dream scenario.
Yeah, you're having wings and you just happen to look up.
Cliff's there,
And
Norm's
you have
there.
some pretzels. You know, it's all good.
You're at Cheers.
Yeah.
Cliff and Norm are there.
Yeah, you're at Cheers. You're
we're at
watching.
Cheers. No one's sitting in any of the bar stools on one part of the bar for some reason. But other than that, everything's great.
Cliff and Norm, and we're watching Seinfeld.
Yeah, no one's
Yeah.
commenting on how you're watching a different NBC sitcom. That's what you're doing in this reality. Oh, this next one is an Amelia pitch. You're a 10th grader in gym class, maybe in weightlifting class.
Hell yeah.
You're exhausted, struggling through the last lap of the mile. Just as you think you can't go any further, something catches your eye, a flash of light reflecting off a can near the finish line. So this is in a can. Your friend is holding it up, waiting for you. If it were any other drink, you might have quit it right then and there. But this one makes all the difference. What is that beverage?
If it's me in 10th grade, like I'm going for the first thing that came in my head was just a regular Coke or maybe a Dr. Pepper. But I think something that's going to make me finish the end of the mile, something I did really hate doing.
Yeah.
And it's 10th
Me
grade
too.
me growing up in the OC. I got to go with a ice cold can of Cactus Cooler.
Hell yeah. Man, I
That
had
is
Cactus
great.
Cooler so often. I had it so many times. I had it like as my lunch soda
Yes.
for so many, like for years.
Yep.
To the point where it kind of got burned out on it.
Yeah.
But I really love Cactus Cooler.
The specificity of that being like a treat that's going to be the carrot. Because I was drinking 5 Cokes a day, Dr. Pepper all the time.
Yeah.
But a Cactus Cooler, sometimes it can hit you just right.
That was my problem is that
love
I took like a novelty, like periodic soda. Like I was too young to understand that like there's like something to only having something occasionally.
Sure.
And this really distinct like orange pineapple soda, I should not have had it every day.
Oof.
But once in a while, it's an absolute treat. Mitch, what's yours?
Mine, look, I'm going back to the Gatorade well, but I get there. There's a jug of Gatorade that was made in the gym. This is 10th grade, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a can, but I'll allow it.
Oh, it has to be a can.
In Amelia's scenario, it's a can. They're holding a can.
The light
holding
could
a
reflect
can.
off a bottle, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
But this would be a cup.
Okay, well, what's in the cup?
You guys have turned on the dream thing pretty quick.
Why don't you say it's been canned?
I just want to hear the end before
It's an aluminum cup.
Yeah.
If I'm-
And also, some Gatorade does come in a can. I was saying because I'm like waiting to hear the whole thing.
Yeah.
Wait, what also, what is the thing? What is the scenario again? Can you just tell me?
You're a 10th grader in gym class, exhausted, struggling through the last lap of the mile. Just as you think you can't go any further, something catches your eye, a flash of light reflecting off a can near the finish line. Your friend is holding it up, waiting for you. If it were any other drink, you might have quit right then and there. But this one makes all the difference. What is the beverage?
Can is so is the tricky.
That's part of the challenge, but you can make it whatever.
I mean, my answer really is those big Gatorade jugs with ice in it, and Gatorade powder, lemon lime Gatorade
sure.
powder. That to me is like I would just like drink that so fast and so much of it and feel great. But if it's a can, man, Cactus Cooler is such a good answer. I mean, should I just be honest?
Yeah.
Fucking Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
A can of Coke.
Pretty good.
I mean,
Coke heavy.
that was high up. I considered it.
I mean, a Coke
I also
is great.
considered it for my hangover drink, like a can.
Yeah.
Ugh, so good.
That's if I'm drinking beverages the day I'm hungover, it's a Gatorade and a Coca-Cola at some point.
I've definitely
a fountain soda Coca-Cola with ice.
Ooh.
That is going to help you.
Yeah.
Do you ever go get the breakfast fast food combo when you're hungover and get the Coke as your drink?
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
Whoa, I've never done that.
Yeah, I'll do that at McDonald's sometimes. All right, next scenario. You've been marooned on a lifeboat for weeks.
I'm changing my mind.
Yeah.
It's a can of Sunkissed.
Sunkissed is great.
Mm-hmm.
That's what. That's
Just
what
the
it
orange
is.
flavor?
Orange flavor
Great.
Sunkissed.
You've been marooned on a lifeboat for weeks. You've resorted to drinking your own urine.
Cool.
But unlike the mariner from Waterworld, you have no way to process it back to water.
Okay.
You're about to lose consciousness for the last time when a rescue chopper flies overhead and lowers a ladder. The Coast Guard search and rescue operator hands you a bottle of thirst-quenching liquid, and it's like manna from heaven. What is it?
This is the easiest one
Yeah.
to me. I mean, I have a specific one that I would maybe choose, but high quality H2O. It's that sort of thing of when you're that dehydrated.
Yeah, just pure water is maybe
can
what you
be
want.
the best. And cold. I would need cold water again.
Yeah.
But I like and specifically the one I'm thinking of is Bobby Boucher's water from the Water Boy.
Sure.
The one that's always cold.
Yeah.
That bottle, if I drank that, I think I would be very happy.
So let's just say Bobby Boucher is descending down that ladder and handing you his perfect water.
Perfect.
Great.
What a dream.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I have a couple laughs too. Better not say water sucks when he comes down there too.
Oof. Oh boy. I think I've been turned on to coconut water.
Oh, okay.
And I think I've already been marooned on the sea and I'm out of my mind. I think I want it to be like a $20 brunch cocktail.
Mm.
You know, like how sometimes you go to
like
brunch and you
this.
can get like a mimosa, Bloody Mary. You can also get like the detox or like the
Oh, sure, yeah.
revitalizer.
It has coconut water.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's gonna be like coconut water, muddled cucumber. It's gonna be light, maybe a squeeze of lime. We're winking at a pina colada, and there's just a slight bit of alcohol in that.
Yeah.
It's not.
You would
it's,
get fucked up.
It's not
It
a
would be nice.
cocktail, but it's just like this is gonna taste like life's worth living.
It's like a half ounce of Malibu rum.
Yeah.
It's just the lightest thing.
It's a
Yeah.
wink at having alcohol in there.
Sure.
That's gonna be an all-timer buzz right there.
Really
Yeah,
will.
exactly. I
You're gonna
might as
feel
well
good.
get it.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, next up. A wizard has cast a transmutation spell to polymorph you into your choice of a dog or a cat. You are alone in a big scary human house, and there's a lock on the fridge that you are unable to disarm with your cute little paws. The only thing you have access to drink is toilet water. However, to your delight, The wizard has also cast an enchantment upon the toilet, so its water is actually a delicious beverage. What is it? Please note that you also have canine or feline anatomy, so certain human foods are toxic.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
Am I living this way for the rest of my life?
Let's say for this exercise, the polymorph spell is temporary. Like it'll wear off.
What's the deal with this wizard? What do we do to piss it
You
off?
displeased him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. We displeased him.
Well, he had like a riddle for you, and you like didn't play along.
What was the riddle?
The riddle was
go on.
Born of forest nest, upon a stick I rest. 1,000 legs cannot stand. What am I?
And so our response is kind of like, what? And then he gets mad at us because we don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
It's a broom, obviously.
Is it a broom?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I turned into a cat because I got Wally and Irma.
And then you can say, "Get in my."
I would not have sexual relations with Wally or Irma if I turned into a cat.
That's not what I was saying.
You instantly went to Bill Clinton.
Yeah, I was just going to you could when you ate food, you could because you look like Wally and Irma, you could say, "Get in my Wally."
Oh, sorry.
This is a classic Mitch. Methinks doth protest.
I would be like it would be fun to talk to them and be like, hey, oh my God, I can talk to you guys.
Yeah, you can understand them when
I'd be
you're
like, how are
in
you
the
guys
cat
doing?
form.
Is there anything you want to complain about? Never go outside. I would tell them like you should never go outside and explain to them how outside is dangerous. And so like I'm always nervous about you guys going outside. I would have a big long conversation.
You're kind of Ed Harris Truman showing them.
This is nice.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I'm like,
so the wizard made you a cat in your own house.
Yeah. So
yes.
And then I would probably, the three of us would probably hit the couch and I'd probably take a nap with them for a while.
That's cute.
And then eventually I'd wake up.
Little cuddle puddle.
Yeah, I mean
Aww.
immediately. Honestly, it's not that different from what my life is now.
Sure.
Boy, that feels
from
like
the toilet also.
Like we don't solicit fan art very often, but a cat Mitch snuggling with Wally and Irma, that'd be pretty cute.
That would be pretty damn cute.
Yeah.
I think I would like that quite a bit.
I think I would like that quite a bit. May we all be so contented, please. Is to receive cute fan art.
I mean, my answer is a simple answer in the feline world. I would like a big bowl of a toilet bowl of milk.
Oh,
please.
that's fun. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Are you gonna be a dog or a cat?
I think I'm gonna be a cat.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I love it.
And my question about like, do we morph back? Is I'm wondering, will this experience be so traumatizing and grody that it'll ruin this beverage for me going forward? So is it a beverage that I'd like to very much have, but I'm okay with if potentially I don't want it again?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to say peach flavored green tea.
Wow.
Good answer. Yeah.
It's nice. I'll enjoy it for as long as I'm a cat. But if I never have one again, it'll be okay.
Yeah, if you have a permanent association with like, I was using a feline tongue to lick this out of a toilet bowl, and so I kind of just have an aversion to it. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
And so can cats drink green tea, I guess?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Probably not safe for them to have too much caffeine with their little bodies.
Can we look that up, Emma?
Yeah.
All right, great.
Oh,
But also,
man.
maybe we took a couple laps of it, you know?
Yeah, I'm not chugging the whole
You're
bowl.
just trying to hydrate yourself.
Yeah.
You're just trying to stay alive until the spell
A
wears off.
small amount of decaffeinated green tea should be okay.
All right, so
But
decaf.
it's definitely
It's
not
okay,
we'll make it
something we should
decaf.
have all
Okay.
the time. But
Yeah, we'll
I
have
would
it-
go decaf.
Decaf.
That's great.
Peach flavored decaffeinated green tea.
I love it. Also, this jogged a memory. I shouldn't tell this. I just remember that a guy who lived next door, I'm not even going to say names.
Yeah.
But he was like, you can drink out of your toilet. Like, all you have to do is flush it twice. And then someone went number 2 in the toilet and they flushed it. And then he flushed it again and he drank water out of the toilet. And it was like such a little kid hearing.
How old?
We were like 10 or to 12.
Ugh.
I didn't like hearing that.
Yeah.
Fucking gross.
Oh,
I mean, it is gross.
And everyone, no cuts. No
Yeah.
cuts. So, Nick's been at Headgum the whole time. And that story has to stay.
No cut. There will be no cuts.
Yeah, sorry.
I didn't like telling it. I know you didn't like.
No, that's
hearing
rough
it.
stuff. Again, kids are gross. Kids are disgusting.
Yeah, kids are disgusting.
All right, final scenario.
Okay.
You are marooned on the desert planet of Arrakis, and the Fremen still suit, which recycles your body fluids into potable water, has been sabotaged. Namely, the heel pumps that generate the kinetic energy to power the filtering mechanism have been disconnected, likely by the traitorous Dr. Yue. You have accepted you will die of thirst on this desolate foreign rock, your desiccated corpse swallowed whole by the behemoth sandworm the indigenous Fremen call Shai Halud. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a Harkonnen soldier ambushes you.
No.
But your training in the weirding way allows you to quickly dispatch him with your Chris knife. You then use your desert power knowledge to harvest the water from his body to sustain yourself. And actually, the fluid tastes quite delicious. It reminds you of a beverage your Mentat tutor taught you of from film books about the ancient society of Earth, back before the Butlerian Jihad, which codified "Thou shalt not make a machine in the likeness of a human mind" into the Orange Catholic Bible. You vow to learn to brew it on your own and share it throughout the Padishah Empire, defying the Bene Gesserit once you return to your home planet, the ocean world of Caladan.
Yes.
What is the beverage?
How long did it take you to write that?
Oh, just kind of stream of consciousness.
Yeah, there's nothing written down, Emma.
Damn.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
His eyes just turned white, and he starts saying, "Doesn't that happen with one of the?"
It happens
dudes?
with Mentats, yeah.
Okay, with Mentats.
I wish I went more into Mentats. Thufir Hawat, I reread Dune, and then I read
Speaking
Dune
of
Messiah, and I read
Mentats,
Children of Dune.
your Mentats looking pretty good right there.
Oh, thanks, buddy. What a thing to say. The Thufir Hawat, who is
You shut the fuck up.
I wish he was present in Dune Part 2. Apparently, he shot some scenes. They're very pivotal in the book, and they're not in the DV adaptations.
Hey, Tiger Weiger, shut the fuck up for a second.
Okay, well, if I got it from a Harkonnen,
Yeah,
I'm thinking, well, their whole planet looks like black licorice.
That's true.
that is true.
Wonder if that,
Coca-Cola could fit in pretty well there.
or maybe like a beverage that has a million flavors that we can't name all of them. I'm going with Dr. Pepper.
Wow, what an answer.
Oh my God, the spice.
The spice.
The spice.
The
spice must flow.
Spice.
23 unique flavors. One of them is Harkonnen.
Wow. What a great answer.
Thanks.
Maybe that will become the spice.
Yeah.
There's this,
Yeah.
it's possible.
Guild navigators are guzzling Dr. Pepper so they can navigate the stars?
It's possible.
Wow.
Nick, I'm gonna go with a drink, and I think that I think this will make much like the fan art. I said fart.
No cuts.
Much like the fan art would make my day.
Yeah.
I think this will make your day. I'd go with a Nick Weiger.
Wow.
An Arnold Palmer, basically. Yes. I would go
A
with
perfected Arnold Palmer.
I just with the sand, and I'm just like, that's a thirst quencher.
That would be really,
that's nice.
really refreshing.
I almost chose Arnold Palmer for my toilet bowl.
Ooh.
And that's how I caught myself, where I was like, then what if it ruins Arnold Palmer's?
Yes.
Which would be devastating.
Yes.
So I went with just a flavored iced tea and not a black iced tea that I would be okay getting rid of.
That's a good move. I would not want, it would ruin milk for me forever.
But,
Drinking out of the toilet.
But how nervous do you guys get when you order an Arnold Palmer? Because they're so hard to say.
I get nervous saying anything because there's a good chance I'm going to say it wrong.
I always practice my order in my head because I'm like worried I'm going to mess it up.
Yeah. It's I don't know why. It's really hard for me to say. Arnold Palmer.
Arnold Palmer.
I think Arnold Palmer would be apropos in this situation.
Arnold Palmer. Arnold Palmer.
That's
Put the glasses back on.
that's a big it's a big golf drink.
It is a big golf drink.
yeah.
Named after a golfer himself.
Big golfer who also had a fucking huge hog, apparently.
Yeah. Apparently.
President-elect was talking
Arnold
about it.
Hogger.
President now.
Here's my question to you.
Mhm.
It would be good if I had a smart question.
Did you say Arnold Hogger?
Yeah, I did
All
say
right, let's not run
Arnold
past this. Mitch said Arnold Hogger. All right, keep going.
Has there ever been a good spiked Arnold Palmer?
That's what he would have it with like vodka.
Oh, he would have it with vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it the John Daly after the famously the alcoholic golfer.
I feel like there hasn't been a good. Maybe I just haven't had one like a good. I've had twisted teas, which are fun and they're tasty.
We used to make that at the sports bar I worked at, and we would use lemon. They had like Stoli had like a lemonade vodka, and they also had a sweet tea vodka. And if you used both of those, you could make like an a boozy Arnold Palmer cocktail.
That sounds real fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. Good summer cocktail.
Trying to make it boozy though just does take out like the thirst quenching quality.
I mean, not while you're hitting the links, just a little shot of vodka and a lemonade iced tea, that's gonna do you right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
We used to make this thing in college called summer beer, where we would take like frozen lemonade, like concentrate, like Minute Maid cans.
Okay.
And what they call for in water, we would make with like a very light beer, like a Busch Light or a Nat, like a Michelob Ultra, like a very light beer. And then you put a shot of vodka at the bottom.
That sounds good as hell.
Wow, that sounds great.
It was really good.
What a treat.
We're going to have to hit the links with you, Wags and I.
Let's get out there.
Maybe we'll have to, we both will have to take lessons.
Yeah, we hit the links all right. Oh. In a hot dog.
Oh. I thought you were sucking off Arnold Palmer. I thought you were going to say you were hitting the links with the Switch 2, which was announced.
That's true. As of this recording, not a lot of details, but exciting that it's
Very
coming
exciting.
out.
Watch the space.
Watch this space.
Watch this space.
Just like a restaurant value feedback, let's open up the feedback. Today's email is from Jack from Highland Park. Hey, nearby. Jack writes, considering we're at the height of human culinary knowledge, if you were randomly transported back in time to pre-electricity, what meal would you cook to increase your newfound societal status? Would Mitch be able to make one of his famous bar pizzas good enough to impress a Roman emperor, or does he rely on modern conveniences?
I'd definitely get my head cut off so fast, but go on.
Could Weiger introduce burritos to the king of Estonia? Maybe the guest could choose to invent a dish a la beef Wellington or Caesar salad. Well, that's a tall order for Jess to invent a dish. But the idea is like, okay, we're going back in time. I got to impress someone.
We're going back in time. You don't got podcasts. You got scrolls, like we talked about.
Scrolls,
scrolls.
You're reading scrolls. From
oh my gosh,
models.
I'm falling asleep to scrolls. Terrible. What do I do while I fold my clothes? Scrolls.
That stuck with me so much is scroll reading and plague removing bodies are the fun things to do. Yeah. Which may be still more fun than listening to Doughboys, but
aw, come
a simpler
on,
time.
please.
We're gonna release a scroll. We should do a Doughboy scroll.
I would love to do a scroll. Yeah, let's do a scroll.
Drop. We'll do. All right, we'll do it. We'll sell like 10 of them.
Yeah,
lose a lot of money.
People love a scroll. Of course, autographed by the boys.
Just being excited about the new scroll you're about to read, it seems like such fucking shitty. See, this is my issue with.
The new scroll is late. I can't believe it. Scroll's supposed to be out by now.
Where's the
Emma?
new
There was
scroll?
something wrong with this week's.
The
scroll.
people are complaining about the scroll.
Fuck off.
The video scroll isn't uploaded. Man, just going back in time sucks. You know how I feel. If there was no air conditioning, I just would be upset.
As a hygiene person, I'm just like, I can't. Where am I supposed to wash my hands? I'm shitting in a bucket. What's going on here? It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
living in squalor.
I mean, this is just funny because it's like a stolen valor question, but it would be kind of fun. I feel like making my mom's Caesar salad because I feel like that is like something that maybe I could do of like garlic and maybe there's some oil and lettuce. And like, because I'm just thinking basics.
Yeah,
there,
cooking.
You know what I mean?
Cooking pre-electricity is so like that's like a challenge. So it's like, well, I guess I maybe have access to. Let's just say I have a gas range or the equivalent of gas range. Let's say I can cook something in a pan.
Sure.
I think that my best bet for success, because I'm a decent home cook, but I'm not someone who's like, I'm like creative at improvising and figuring out a bunch of, like I have these ingredients, so I know what I can make out of this. I'm like I need to kind of follow a recipe. So I think I would keep it simple and say, I'm going to try to make something that maybe they just have these people, the totality of human knowledge up to this point maybe has not yet settled on this particular dish. And so my answer is I'm going back there, I'm getting a loaf of bread, I'm getting some cheese, I'm getting some butter, I'm making a grilled cheese sandwich. It's like, hey, maybe you've never had a grilled cheese sandwich before, we'll get ready to have your fucking mind blown.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty, I had a similar impulse, and it was born out of what Dr. Eatville said. I think I'm making chicken nuggets.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
Because I'm sure, like, or fries.
Yeah.
Or essentially, like, a Happy Meal. Because are we frying things in oil yet? I assume oil is, like, maybe hard. I don't know. Do they have oil?
I think they have oil, but they're like,
oil.
They got it on top of the castle wall to pour it onto invaders.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe they haven't thought, you know what, that actually is good for cooking.
Yeah, chop up some potatoes, throw them in that.
Exactly. Like if I can introduce French fries, I'll change their life.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good.
And it's not that hard to make, but like if you've never had anything fried before, like
yeah. Did they just not think of like frying or like
I wonder if people didn't have oil, like enough oil, like
could be
like, or you probably had like mother oils, like oils you had to like keep.
Yes,
like you have to keep using the same.
Right, you can't change out the oil. You don't have enough. Yeah, it's
right.
not in enough abundance.
Or like fat, you can just do it in like animal fat.
Right.
Tallow melts. So maybe I'm sure they were cooking things with and using oil. I know that's how a lot of like early bakes and stuff. There was like beef tallow in it to give it like a fat. Where now we would just use butter. So they're doing some stuff. I mean, we weren't like dumb as bricks.
We weren't. Yes.
We're doing what we could.
Yeah, it would be fun to go back
resources.
and be. Would I? I mean, with these glasses especially, would I just be the smartest person like 500 years ago? I know. I mean, I guess there's still some pretty smart people.
Yeah, I would say no. You wouldn't be. Say probably Isaac Newton would maybe be smarter.
Would you be the best cook immediately? Like, would you be like I don't know.
Also, like, not to get like totally nitty gritty about it, but I think just like taste and flavor things change. Like even if if you go to like Musso and Frank's and they're like, yeah, get this like cheese on celery. This was Charlie Chaplin's favorite dish. And you're like, this fucking blows.
Yeah,
but
they've got like jellied beef you can get there.
But it's like, but that was the thing of the time. It's just like how we'll look at ourselves and be like, hot chicken.
I mean, it's
you know, like, so hard to say. Like we might come in with our flavors and they'll be like, whoa, which is why I think like simple children's foods might be big hits because they're salty, they're nice, it might just be more in the preparation.
I think you're 100% right. I was thinking pizza, but then pizza has been done for centuries, right? Like I guess in Italy, I guess it depends on where you are, probably too.
True.
So after wiping out the Weiger line,
you're gonna kill my ancestors?
No, I would steal the. I would go and charm whoever your great.
So that you could be his daddy.
Yeah,
I'd be his great.
Sorry, the big win you have in mind is somehow becoming Nick's daddy.
That'll show him.
That's showing him.
So after I do that, you become my great grandchild or whatever. I think pizza is, but I don't think there's anything better than what you said. Frying up some potatoes, you could do that really well. Yeah.
I mean, I think together we just brought the past to kids menu, and they should all be really grateful.
What about a burger? Could you make a burger?
Yeah, I mean, the hamburger or the dish is not that old. So, like, yeah, probably if you had access to some ground meat, I don't know what the pre-electrical. I guess there were just like mechanical grinders. So I guess you're just using a mechanical grinder if you have access to one of those.
My question is,
make yourself a patty.
You said I wouldn't be the smartest man, but would you immediately be one of the best cooks?
I don't think so, because I think there still were just people who were like had a lot of craft and like had professional training, and right. I think you might have more like knowledge of world cuisine because things were pretty cloistered back then.
Yeah,
but
would they like a cheesy Gordy to crunch? I don't know.
I think it would be too. I think it would like kill somebody. I think it'd be too potent.
I think it would.
Yeah, I think it would.
All right.
Yeah. Because you're just like especially in much of I think in our scenarios we're thinking back on our own heritage and we're thinking of like we're picturing like a European past, right? Like that was like a period where there wasn't a lot of spices. That people weren't used to like having that amount of flavor. So I think it would be pretty.
We'd probably get charged as being witches pretty quickly from you know what I mean?
Yes, I would.
Yes, you would be in trouble.
You know what we would be though is we'd be very tall. We'd be some of the biggest people back then.
Yeah,
you look at the average height over the years,
And you and I would probably get the plague. You'd be accused of being a witch, and we get the plague, and it would be over, which is good.
Yeah,
good way to end it.
Hey, if you have a question or comment about the world of chain restaurants, you can email us at feedback@birdfuck.com or leave us a voicemail at 830-GO-DOUGH. That's 830-463-6844. And hey, to get the Doughboys Double Our Weekly bonus episode, plus our entire pre-2018 back catalog, subscribe at patreon.com/Doughboys. Our producer is Emma Erdbrink. Our associate producer is Amelia Marino. Our supervising video producer is Casey Donahue. And our video editor is Mike Dorfman. Our guest, Jess McKenna. Jess, thanks so much for coming back.
What a
What a
Thanks
treat.
for having me. Wow, what a great time.
When was the last time you were on before this?
We had you on for a last year for Pank.
Yes.
We had you on for and the
Oh,
Patreon
right.
feed, but for the main feed, it's been a little bit before. I think it might have been the tournament. So we had a dessert tournament.
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds
Too
right.
long.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Always too long.
Always a pleasure to be here with the boys.
We love
What a
having you
treat.
here. Yeah.
Anything you would like to plug? There you go. People should check out Off Book.
Yes, yeah.
Do you have any live shows coming up?
Um,
This is coming out in January.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so yeah, we don't do Off Book as a studio record anymore, but we have been touring a lot, so there's plenty of episodes in the feed still, and we are touring to the Midwest. So March 19th, the Arc in Ann Arbor, Michigan. The 20th, Park West in Chicago. The 21st, the Burr Oak in Madison, Wisconsin, and then 2 nights in Minneapolis at the Cedar Cultural Center. So we'd love for you to come out if you're in any of those cities.
Y'all should come out and see that. It's Zach and Jess together. It's just an incredible performance.
It's a fun time.
Yeah, it's great to see.
And
Check it
it's
out.
really fun to do live. So please come check it out if you're in those areas.
Which city you think will have the drunkest?
Madison.
You know what? I would guess Madison too.
We haven't done Madison.
We haven't done
Neither have
We've done Milwaukee.
We've done Milwaukee, but in the Midwest, and look, hey, there's a challenge to add the Midwest out there. The drunkest crowd we've had, Minneapolis. So
Yeah.
We both said it at the same time.
I mean, SoCal girl, love SoCal till I die.
Yeah.
But Midwest is best.
a lot of fun.
In terms of like a whole region, I love the Midwest, and I've never been to Madison, but when I was at Northwestern, people would go to their Halloween in the same way that like people I knew growing up would go up to Santa Barbara's Halloween, where it's like, oh, they have a crazy Halloween. So I don't know,
That's
college
wild.
town. I feel like maybe we'll get a drunk Madison crowd. I'd love.
Chris Farley went to school in Madison. Or he's from Madison? Is that what it is?
I'd love a wild Madison crowd. You know?
Yeah, that'd be a hoot.
Yeah.
I love every time we've been in Milwaukee, we've had a good time.
We sure have. Hey, that'll do it for this episode of Doughboys. Until next time, for the Spoon Man, Mike Mitchell, I'm Tiger Weiger. Happy eating.
See ya. Bye.
Hey, buddy, want Doughboys merch? We're talking hats, shirts, sweatshirts, patches, glasses, all sorts of stuff. Aprons. It's all available at kinshipgoods.com/doughboys. That's kinshipgoods.com/doughboys. Sources for the intro are in the episode description.
That was a Headgum podcast.